Watch us next on TSN.
There's still a little bit of ice left on the Red River, but it won't be around for long. Another warm day here in Winnipeg, and the Ford World's on TSN. Colleen Jones and the Canadian Women's Champions. It's the last draw of round-robin play here at the Worlds. And it's a showdown for first place with Sweden on the ice. Annette Norberg against the Canadian champions, Colleen Jones, Kim Kelly, Marianne Way, and Nancy Delahunt. In fact, it's a wide open world so far, with only one team being eliminated so far from playoff contention, and that's the Italians. Russia's still alive, so is Japan, Norway, Scotland, US, and Switzerland, Denmark. As we welcome you inside the arena here in Winnipeg on this Thursday afternoon, it is draw number 9 for the ladies, and our featured game is on sheet A. Let's meet these two teams and the Canadian champions, Nancy Delahunt, Marianne Way, Kim Kelly, Colleen Jones out of the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax. Sweden, Helena Lingham, Catherine Norberg, Ava Lund, and Annette Norberg making a 5th appearance at the World Championship. And she has medaled 4 previous times, 3 bronze and 1 silver, that coming a couple of years ago in Lausanne. Time to read the ice now with Ray. It's brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada. Hard to believe outside, beautiful inside, we're talking frost.
Well, little Jack Frost, it's too hot out there for him, so he's on the inside, but still lots of curl around the center guard, about 4.5, 4 to 4.5. It may change through the game. Around that corner guard from the inside out, once again, it'll go 4 to 4.5. From the outside in, it holds down the frost line a bit, comes a little late, and it can change through the game. Now, the secret on this ice, as far as I'm concerned, is you have to be careful not to play your corner guards when you're trying to generate the offense too far over here. Play them over in this area here, across, and force the play to this 8-foot area. What happens a little bit when you throw weight, you know that it will run very, very straight.
Canada will play the red stones, Sweden the yellow, and it is the Swedes that have the hammer in the first end of play.
Top 4.
And to get us going, the Canadian lead is Nancy Delahunt. And again, we emphasize this is a game for first place. The fact that Canada is 8-0 and Sweden 7-1, should the Swedes win, then they would be tied. Sweden would get first place by virtue of a win over Canada.
Just to go a little further with the ice, Vic, is that if you put the corner guards too far over, we talked about this during the week, then I find that when you're trying to get behind them, they won't climb up into the frost. So play from the edge of the 8-foot one side, the edge of the 8-foot the other side. Keep your corner guards covering the 8-foot area.
You're talking about first place, Vic, and you're absolutely right. The interesting thing is you're having no idea if you're on this sheet who you're going to play, because all those other sheets matter. It's nice for the Swedish and Canadian teams. They don't have to look around. They're securely into the playoffs. But it's one of the few times, Ray, that you look down the list and you see so many possibilities for tiebreakers at such a low record. At a record of, at the moment, sitting at 3-5. It would be at 4-5. They would be tied.
Well, Victor, I could not believe this morning my phone rings. I answer it. It's Tiger. He wants to know what time we're on. And he says, did Vic say 5 is alive?
He's right. That's right. Tiger would have called wanting to know. With no Masters opening draw. Well, the early pictures I saw today, I mean, the balls were plugging. It had been so wet, and they didn't want to play the lift clean in place rule, so they're waiting for things to draw out.
Yep. 15.
I think one of the things we do know about Colleen is that she likes to wait and generate offense later in the game. I think there's a little bit of danger in trying to do that, and I think because the ice is a little better in the first 5-6 ends of that I think you should be trying to generate some offense at that time as opposed to waiting.
You see that Sweden decided to try and play the corner guard, and this one's going to keep sliding. That's the one thing we do know about the ice. It tends to slide. It's pretty fast out here. Let's talk ice times, brought to you by Karcher. Between the hog lines, you'll see hits for these ladies at 9 seconds, hack weight 11.5 seconds, the draw weight 14 to 14.5, and the speed is consistent. But late in the game, it's tough to read the ice to know how to get a draw into position. It does straighten up.
Nice throw, Marianne.
At the Scott Tournament of Hearts and in the Canadian Championships, we play the page playoff system where 1 and 2 meet, and then there's that automatic trip to the final where the loser gets a second chance. Here it's the top 4 that qualify as well, but then it'll be 1 and 4 and then 2 and 3 winners advancing. How important then is this game for either of these teams to finish first or second?
Well, I think for Sweden, it's psychologically important, Vic, because remember back to Lausanne 2001, they weren't even close to Colleen in either the round robin or the final game. So it's one of those things where you hate to leave that, to have somebody who seems to have your number. You'd rather at least have a great game against them. Because we don't know who they're going to play as far as the positioning of these two teams go, I don't think it's really that important as far as first and second. Sometimes, Ray, there's somebody you look across and, you know, I'd really like to play them. At this point, it's just too uncertain. You can't even think about that.
The only thing was we mentioned last night is that we do know that the Norwegians really like to play Canada in the semifinal if they can. But,
it's going to be hard for them to jockey into that position, Vic.
Yep.
So here you go. These are the 4 teams who right now are in the playoff spots. Norway and the U.S. both on the ice. U.S. playing Scotland. Norway is playing Japan. If they win, there will be no tiebreakers, but if either of those teams lose, then they would fall, of course, to 5 losses, and that would bring a bunch into play if those 5-loss teams should manage to win their games. And look at them here. We told you only Italy so far going into this 9th and final round robin draw had been eliminated. Switzerland, Scotland, Russia, Japan, Denmark, all still alive. The only team that knows they will be out would be Switzerland or Denmark because they are playing each other, and one of them would drop
somebody on sheet E. We just don't know whom at this point.
Well, that's, I don't think I've ever said, gotten to this point and seen so many teams alive. To 5 is alive.
Can't you picture it now? Phil and Tiger and all the guys sitting around the TV and Mike Weir explaining the game to them?
That's right. So here's what they're trying to do.
Mike, you must know this game.
Colleen, of course, would like to keep the hammer in the playoff game, and she would need to be clear of Sweden to do that. That means it would be important for that little extra bonus.
And if they should end up tied, if Sweden should win this game and they're both at 8 and 1, it would be I believe, correct?
Yeah, even if you're playing somebody that is lower than you in the first game, the semifinal game, it doesn't matter. The record difference doesn't matter. You would flip the coin.
Now, now isn't that silly? Here I am. I'm looking at you, and I'm
tossing it with your finger.
It with my.
It was great, Vic.
But I didn't tell anybody what I was doing.
Well, so I had to say it.
Sorry.
Regular.
We knew what it meant, though.
It was clear.
Everyone at home had no idea what I was doing.
And you see the numbers for these Canadian women all at the top of the list when you talk about shooting percentages.
The thing I like about the team right now, too, we've talked about how well Colleen has played. She's played very well, shot very well all week. But the thing that you kind of like right now, I like the flow and rhythm that Kim Kelly's got herself into. She's really throwing it nicely and getting those little rolls and playing some of those soft shots very well.
And between the 2 thirds, she has a big edge, not just in shooting percentages, but Ray in that plus minus. Kim is a +5 and Eva is a -3. That is the biggest spread in the positions. And remember that plus minus means how you've played against the opposing lead, second, third, or skip in every game. We add them all up, and that's your final plus minus. So although the number isn't bad, it's a percentage for Eva. She has been out curled fairly consistently over the week.
You were saying yesterday, Ray, And it's interesting, there was a comment in one of the papers today from Nancy Delahunt agreeing with you about the team thinks they can still play better, that in fact they may be 8-0, but it has been a bump and grind kind of 8-0. They've really had to work for it.
Did she say that in the paper?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. No. Yeah, I just felt that, you know, and I haven't had a chance to talk to them for a day or so, but we've watched them so much, we've been with them so much, we know when they really get into that flow, and I think they're just starting to get there. They certainly haven't been curling badly. They're 8-0, but you know, we have a sense as well, because we do know them so well, when they you can kind of feel it, and when they really get rolling.
They're in that position too, with Colleen herself playing so well. She saved them a few times, let's face it.
Yep.
They don't always play their best till they're pressed. So they get behind a little bit, then they tend to pour it on, and that's sometimes an indication that they feel pretty confident, and until they really push Vic, they don't play their best.
Somebody said to me in the hotel this morning, that alluding to the fact that the Canadians, you know, maybe haven't looked, are maybe 8-0. This field, only 2 teams are above 500, Canada and Sweden. And the person said to me, if they were at the Scott and playing like this, they wouldn't be 8-0. They wouldn't be getting away with this kind of game. Do you think that's true?
They wouldn't be playing this way, perhaps. I really believe that Colleen, Nancy, and the team play better when the other team's pushing them. And that is true of almost any curling team. We try to, when we coach, try to say to people, don't play to your opponent, play your best. But you know, psychologically, that is very difficult. Annette herself is also playing very well. You'll see that she's second amongst the skips. She has a very nice touch.
This team won the European Championship in Grindelwald in Switzerland in December. She's a 3-time European champion. This is a good team.
Consistent person at the Worlds too, Vic. 4 medals.
4 appearances, 4 medals, 3 bronze and the silver in Lausanne. As we mentioned, Canada and Sweden have clinched either first or second, so they know they're in. Sweden's win, a win by Sweden, would give them first. Norway and US, because they are at 4 losses, if they both win, there would be no tiebreakers. Now, if one of them or both should drop down to 5, it brings all those teams at 5 losses in, except either Switzerland or Denmark, because one of those teams would drop to 6. So we could have 8 teams involved in the playoff picture by the end of the day. 8 of 10.
This is Victor's favorite day in your whole life, eh, Vic? This is like a Formula 1 race almost for you.
Pretty close. This is a pretty tight field actually. Yeah. Although some people, Linda, will point at it and go, you know, you're just. But I mean, you can point at football, basketball, NHL, and any league standings when there are all those teams making playoffs, and there are sub-500 teams making them there too. So it's not fair to say here just because they're 500 they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Well, think about the Scott when it came to the last draw. 10 of 12 teams were still alive.
Yep.
I think
even though you had eliminated most of them by Monday.
I did make that mistake.
I think that biter may be in. Colleen's trying to draw right down to the back of it.
Big scrub, way. Kelly, wonderful. And take it right down and on the face.
Nancy's got a trusted swing there, like a head rack.
If the rock hadn't been biting, Colleen would have been drawing high in the house rather than to the face of it. They just get it by. You could hear Colleen say, we have to believe that swing, and of course they can't brush past the tee line. The Swedish person takes over and we'll tap.
Now that's a good indication of what we talked about. Now there was movement there and she got around the corner guard. And I don't think in the 6th or 7th end that it'll move like that into that 12-foot. So I would try and generate offense. This is the chance for generate offense in the early ends. Nice shot by Colleen.
Final stone for Sweden, and Norberg drawing now for her single.
Force her to 1. Perfect.
So a terrific last rock draw by Colleen Jones. And Sweden will take one.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
It's a Thursday afternoon. It's the final day of round robin play. The Canadian men played this morning, and they were winners over Sweden, so they remain in a first place tie with Finland. Both teams there are 7-1. This is the ninth and last draw for the ladies. Canada 8-0 coming in, Sweden 7-1. The winner finishes in first place, and Canada with the hammer here in the second, playing the Redstones.
15-20 då.
Well, the long center guard curled a little bit off the center line, Linda, so a chance for Colleen to come around, and that really did. We'll have to watch this sheet closely. This is the sheet that's closest to the sheet A, and closest to the stands, and sometimes it does react a little different, so we'll keep an eye on it for you.
I think it's a good plan to put up the guard, though. Annette with a nice draw in one, forced to the single, and now wants to get some rocks in play.
It's a key shot. You get this frozen on that rock on the button. It can certainly change the complexion of this end.
Elena Lingham.
Lovely shot.
Down on the face.
Nancy Stone just came too deep, Vic.
Let's start our updates with Russia and Italy. Russia, one of those teams at 5 losses with a chance to keep themselves alive. The Italians, they're skipped by Diana Gaspari. First time at the Worlds. Picked up, though, a bronze medal at the recent World Juniors in Switzerland against Olga Yarkova. She made a nice raise to lie 1. Now this is a draw for 2. And as she did against Canada, Linda, lots of rocks in play. Nice draw to get a couple. Italy with the early lead.
Really is interesting how when you slip a rock just a little bit too deep. That Nancy Stone was just what, 2.5, 3 feet too deep. If you're top of the 4-foot there, this whole end is different. All of a sudden now, and you see the rub, and now a great chance for Sweden to really close the end up. Come right in again.
You're pretty sure Sweden would have frozen on anything that came in buried that Canada placed in the house on that first leads rock. So you're right, Nancy coming a bit too far means now the play is right in the button area, and Sweden will try and get another rock into that area to close it down completely.
This is Catherine Norberg.
Tia. Var är den? Ti. Ekar fint. Ja! Ekar! Ja! Ja! Fint! Ja! Flott! Ja! 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 Det är bra. Vad är det? Gör.
Well, it's open. 07 hade jag something to kind of try to get to know.
She can see it all.
You know?
Hit it right on the nose, and you can get the rock off the button as well.
Kind of just jam it back on that other one.
She's going to try and run this back, I guess, Linda. She can see the stone in the rings.
I guess she's worried that she'd just jam it and the Reds would go.
Hurry! Okay.
Not at all what they wanted. The shooter stays out in front. Curled too much. Leaves the shooter. Does get the bonus of picking the one off the top of the 4.
I think now, though, they can put it in better on you. They had a shot at that right then. Hit it right on the nose, and you will move something off the back of the 4-foot. And as long as your shooter stays right there, they have to deal with it.
Vänta lite! Måste! Den är väldigt långt ut, den är
Ja, det är korta sträcket, framkant.
Framkant.
Ja! Ja!
Framkant.
Ja! 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 Det är bra.
Bra. 30 hade jag. Hade du?
15.
Yeah. Just off.
Var nog mer 30.
I like
Quite
it
open.
better than the peel. Do you like the double?
That looks like it. You could be able to get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same weight you just peel.
Even a little off nose works for you, Marianne.
Marianne Way. Here in the second, 1-0 Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah. Hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry, 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 quick.
Great shot, and that was there the last time. They're lucky that Sweden gave it to them again.
I'm surprised that Sweden brought their rock in. I thought they would just be guarding.
And Canada with the hammer, line 3.
Well, if you're going to bring it in, you have to get it right to the face of the stone in the
right.
rings.
This one was a little more open, Ray.
A little bit, not much, but I can't believe she saved that one, that red stone.
And when you look at this now, remember we were talking about how you make up teams today. Is Marianne and the way she can play and the weight she throws, is that now the prototypical team, that little extra weight at the second position, not necessarily at the third position?
Actually, that's pretty typical of the way it's always been, Vic. The second player with the ability to play the big hits. Marianne brings that to this team for sure. This is pretty big weight as well.
Eva Lund.
There's a danger in leaving that right there.
I don't like leaving that. That is so there.
I know. We have to hit it.
Do you like it? Or do you want to hit and roll? Yeah.
Is this side straight?
Try and just roll over here a little
What
bit.
do you want?
What turn do you want to play?
I like the out.
Out turn.
Regular, Kim.
Regular, Kim.
I like this turn better too. Bring your brushes into play a little bit here, I think, Linda.
Let's stay close.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
And they're in play now. Nancy Delahunt, Marianne Way.
Hurry, hurry. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hit. Roll
Nice
it
shot,
over.
Kim.
And
Nice
sits
shot,
in
Kim.
time for 3.
That's a nice shot by Kim. And that was the right turn, Lou, to go at it. You know, because you bring the brushes into play in that situation. That in turn down there runs pretty straight, Victor. So if you ever just set it a little bit, now you're going to drive it back on one of the back stones. So good call and nice shot by Kim Kelly. She is certainly back.
They looked at a moment about drawing, but very early in the game, and it is 3 Canadian stones in the ring, so instead they'll try the hit and roll. You can roll in front of either of the other 2 rocks.
Nope, we'll sit right there. Yeah, because I think if you're club player, you're looking, why aren't you going after the shot stones at the back?
Didn't turn out too well though, Vic, because it didn't roll in far enough, and so Canada can get in behind first.
You don't want this rock too. You don't want this rock too deep.
And
That's right there, right? 74 should be lots.
Top of the 8 foot. You don't
Lots
want
of
this
room
back too
here.
deep, otherwise you can freeze to the face of
Nice
it.
weight. Lot of room. Lot of room.
I think it's just top 4. Just top 4.
The time looks fine, but that's for T-line, and they didn't really
Yeah, little
want it.
now?
Yep.
That
Well,
deep?
Might be deep though.
Yeah, I know, but I think she's going to tap it anyway.
Okay, good.
As opposed to the... If you poke that out there at all, it will not.
Yeah. Did I poke mine a bit?
Second one. Not your first was gorgeous, Nance.
Take this stone here and put it right there. What a difference it is.
So the time at the hog line should have been around a 15-second mark for a top of the house shot.
Ligger den där bakom 10 eller?
Colleen had convinced herself that she was going to hit it no matter where it was, and you can see what she's doing. She's freezing to the face of it.
It's 5. She threw about a 4.5.
Yeah, I thought I threw a 5 on my freeze there.
I got a 4 hog to hog.
fair to say that this team is obviously a good one. They're champions, but overshadowed for the longest time, Linda, by Elizabeth Gustafsson and her success in Sweden and in the world. This is 2 of 3 years now for Norberg here, but previous to that, 1991.
It's a great string by Elizabeth. 4 world titles for that Swedish team. And you could see the difference in time. This should tap it with that sort of time.
And that little rub and spill, and chance for the Canadians maybe to squeeze it by, roll it, possibly. Live 4.
Ja, synd. Bakkant vitt var det bara. Sa du? Bakkant vitt var det.
She's playing the in turn, and she's going to try to hit that. And just get a little flop over
Don't worry
here.
about jamming on the back one. Just hit and roll.
Yeah, don't worry about the back one.
You're not worried about jamming on the back?
No, well, the back 12 one. It's all about making sure we get the roll so she doesn't freeze again.
Yes, exactly.
Just a little roll.
And this is in the moving area. This is the area where it will start to go,
It will,
too.
yeah.
I don't want to take too much ice, though.
That looks good.
Lainey Peters is on the left. She's the alternate. Ken Bagnall is listed as the coach, but as we've said, doesn't deal in any curling strategy. He is their sports psychologist.
Yep. Whoa.
And listens more to their
Curl.
attitude and the way
Whoa.
If we can
they
get
approach
it,
the
we'll
game.
sit right
Yeah,
here. No,
yeah.
he's not going to ignore
Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, no, no.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Avoid the jam.
Shot.
That's a very nice shot.
The line 3.
Nice shot. She can freeze on it, though, and make our 2 off.
Not much you could do about this with that first one coming deep and Sweden getting a rock in there. He had to make a play on this and had to get the roll to take away the pocket. There is an out for Sweden. Colleen couldn't do anything really about that, but they can try and freeze onto that stone.
No, there's nothing she could do. I mean, she got the best roll she could possibly get.
Annette will have to pull a little speed off this and give it to the brushers.
9. Bra fart! Kolla! Lite aningen on. Bra fart, lite.
14.5 is the right time for the button.
Nu har en bra linje. Kom igen! Kom igen! Kom igen, Daki, kom igen!
Very nice.
Bra Nat.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, but is there something you can do there? Can you slice that out of there, possibly?
Well, you could play the long double across, come across for 4, but or you could draw to the button for 2.
That was a lovely shot by Annette. She was under a lot of pressure.
If you want to really gamble, you could come off of that one. Or you can draw
It's
for
there.
for 2. Annette did her job. It's the best she could do.
What is it, about a half a rock or more? Just don't know if I can throw that kind of weight. But I don't have to move it far out of the 4-foot once I get it there.
Whatever you like. You could possibly
take that out.
Lose this though, if you hit it too thin.
We do that reward thing, don't we?
There's a big reward in this, potentially 4 if you go for the double. Colleen worried about how flat it is.
I think
you have
if
to
I
play
hit it
the
too
big
thin,
weight.
I risk taking ours out. So let's just draw for our deuce.
Could you not pick it, lose the shooter,
5?
and get your 3? That about
Oh,
possible?
yeah, 5.
It's a possible shot, Vic, but it's harder, I think, than the double.
The angle's pretty nice for the double, so and you don't have to move it very far to get 3. If you move it a little bit farther than that, you'll get 4. I think it's one of those shots that I know that I would certainly be trying, I think, at this stage. But it's, you know, Colleen's got the single, and her theory in curling is to stay close, and she likes the games nice and tight. So she gets a chance to draw to go up 1, and that's the way she plays.
Whoa, line's fine. Line's fine.
So this
4 foot.
stays within her
Line's fine.
her theory.
Weight only. Weight's there.
T-line.
And then
Watch your curl.
We can rub
Final
off the
stone
yellow,
here
though.
in 2.
It should be a couple of feet long with that kind of time on the stopwatch.
1, yes.
And too far. So the Canadians take 1 here in the second to even it up. We've traded singles in the first 2. The winner will finish first in women's play here at the Ford World.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Let's update the game between the Italians and Russia. And Italy opened with 2 in the first. And you can see the Russians are facing a couple here. And this is Olga Yarkova, the 24-year-old in her 3rd appearance at the Worlds out of the Moskvich Curling Club in Moscow. Started off well, but have sort of hit a few bumps lately, but still alive at 3 and 5. Need to win though, and then hope either for a loss by Norway or the U.S. Big scrub though, needs a good piece of the 8 and will come up a little shy. 1 for sure they measured, and it was a steal of 2 for the Italians. And Diana Gaspari from Cortina d'Ampezzo. Switzerland, Denmark, both those teams at 5 losses. 1 will move on, 1 will be eliminated. The Scots and U.S., that's one of those games the U.S. can clinch a playoff spot with a win, as can Norway if they win, to avoid any tiebreakers. So the Canadians missed the opportunity for the 2. They're a little heavy. We go to the 3rd in a 1-1 tie. Sweden with the hammer playing the Yellowstones.
At the end, though. Yeah, go.
That was a big save by Sweden, though, Vic. I looked for sure that Canada would get 2, 3, maybe even 4 until Annette made that lovely freeze. Little tap, but nice shot.
You know, there's a situation. I look at that and you think to yourself, all right, they're lying 1. What's the worst that could happen? What's the absolute worst?
It was only a steal of 1
Steal
possible.
of 1.
There was no other rocks
Why
in the
not go
house.
for it?
No, well, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm playing the double every day.
15-20.
Because the angle was so nice for it too. And Colleen can throw it. She can throw the weight.
And it's only the 2nd. It's not the 8th.
You didn't have to throw it overhand or anything. It's early in the game. The ice is still good.
Nu lite sväng i den.
It is clear that Sweden has a plan, because they could go after the Canadian Rock center line area, maybe make it double, but instead they're playing a quiet shot around the corner.
Walk in there.
Little tap and roll by Helena.
Coming around that front one.
Kind of like right here.
Yeah.
Or come around that top one, Colleen, the top 12.
Right. I like the corner freeze.
Okay.
Where? It's to it. Whoa.
We're in.
Whoa. No line. It's right to it. No
We
line.
can corner freeze it.
I'll try, but we have no line.
Okay. It's bouncing a little. We can freeze our own.
Okay. Yep.
It's there, though.
Yep. Split. Hard.
You go, Nancy.
Okay.
Not a good spot for that rock.
Vi drar i bhn eller?
It really wasn't close in either of those
Andra
games in
hållet,
2001. Colleen dominated the Swedish team. Vic, remember the final? Very wide open, just played up and down the sheet.
I think the first 5 ends were blanked, if I remember correctly. 4 for sure, and I think even the 5th. And you know how good my memory is.
Let me go and check.
On. Nej. Det är bra. 9-3. 9-3.
Do you remember what the arena was called in Lausanne?
No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
It was called the Malley Sports Center. And it was 4 blanks.
Well, I said 4 for
Or
sure.
5,
I
okay.
said, no, I said 4 for sure.
Oh,
Maybe
even
5.
So you had your hand on the stick shift, ready to pull it right in the reverse.
And Rave, of course, 5 was too many, so you weren't going to say that for sure.
Okay.
You might have thought this Swedish team was off to a pretty bad start this week. They lost 10-3 in their first round robin game. That was against Switzerland. They did not play well. 66% was their overall team percentage. But it's been 7 straight wins since then, and the numbers have gone up considerably.
Catherine Norberg.
Not so bad punching that second yellow one a little wide. That's potentially something, Vic, you could tap up or run back onto what is now shot stone.
Didn't we have a couple of nights in Switzerland, Vic, that I'm pretty fortunate to remember anything?
Matter of fact, yes.
We had a wonderful time there.
Lots.
Beautiful country.
Oh, beautiful part of the
Line's great. Yep.
French part.
Just fine.
Room, is it heavy,
On the
guys?
water.
Line only.
A few more
Yep,
stones
good
here
move,
in this
go,
end that I think
hard,
Colleen
it's
might
gonna go.
like.
It's clear
You're not
Sweden
through,
has a
are you,
plan,
anything?
Vic,
We're
and
not
that's to
going
put rocks in play.
It's good.
Now, so far, Canada doing pretty well. Here's a nice come around. Oh, just a little rub.
Yeah, walking there.
Vad säger du om den där?
Dubben här då! Den raka dubben! Nej, de två båda. Så, ja. Jag kommer ju stänga igen här helt. Men du kan ju spela på utsidan här, jag ser hela gula. Jag kan göra det slaget om du vill. Nej, det... Nej.
They're talking about playing the double, the top stone onto the shot rock, and Annette motioning to second shot rock. At some point you have to deal with it, and you have to watch where your shooter rolls with this double.
Stå framför stenen.
It's a good call, though.
Yeah, it's a very good call. You can make a play on this, and if you can make the double here, you're going to have 3 yellow in the rings.
Ava Lund.
Kom då. Kolla då. Det går inte.
Drive it back and by. Canada line 2 without the hammer here in 3.
Yep. Good. Okay. Less.
A little less.
Now turn come around for Kim. A little less weight they talked about.
Line's great.
Come in.
Hurry. We're short. Hard line. We're short. Hurry. Just guard it. Colleen is short. Want to freeze it? Whoa, whoa. Okay, good. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Little
whoa,
rub, little
whoa.
rub.
Whoa, whoa.
Overlaps the top stone.
It lined up.
Oh dear.
En gång till då.
There's a good chance because it kind of lines up here a little bit. And then you drive this one right there. Make a good shot here. With
Run it back. Got it. Sure does.
That's a terrific shot. It just lined up perfectly for Sweden. Now all of a sudden the shot rock is
You know, I'm tempted to have this way now.
a little bit
Afraid that
exposed.
it's going to be that big
Yeah, I'm
rock.
not sure by the weight over there either. Okay.
Still a guard for Colleen to come around, but you need to get this buried. You can't obviously set up a position where Annette can get at the rock and make a double.
on that there.
It's not too heavy.
Coming around.
Sweden taking some chances, ignoring the Canadian stones, trying to get their yellow rocks buried. They have succeeded in doing that. Now Sweden has to find a way to get at shot rock and whatever rock Colleen is about to play into the house. But I like the way they're approaching the situation with last rock.
Yeah, it's a lot different than what we saw, for example, in Switzerland that year. They just didn't play any offense at all. So obviously they've talked about that, and that's the coaching aspect of this game. You know that Colleen's comfortable with the open game, so let's try to make her a little more
Line's fine.
uncomfortable.
Line's fine.
Well, if you can.
Line's great. Yep.
Watch the swoop, girl.
Yep.
Wait only.
Whoa. Close for line.
Colleen Jones in her first.
Where? Yeah.
Sweden with the hammer in the third.
You want to go back beyond?
Whoa.
Beyond? Okay. Come here. This is going beyond. Sorry.
Där. Följer ju lite grann där tyckte jag nu. Men inte här ute, tror du det? Nej, okej.
What did you say at the hog line, Linda?
14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Yeah, it's 14 and a half. Throw it into the brushers, so you can throw it even less, Vic, a 15-second. They can probably drag it there. And that one had to be high in the house.
Yeah, that just surprised me where it ended up, I guess. But it was just over 14 when it got to the hog line. So.
He's obviously going to throw some weight at this.
Chance to really turn this end around. And at Norberg, Sweden, here in 3. Lingham and Norberg angle it back and then just by. Canada continues to lie. 1. Center line and covered. Japan and Norway in a 1-1 tie as they play in the third. And you see the Japanese are lying 1 on the lid. Final stone on its way for the Japanese skip Shinobu Ayota from Hokkaido. She plays Doherty Nordby, the 2-time world champion. Again, Japan, one of those teams with 5 losses. A win would put them into a tiebreaker. That would bring Norway back. Norway, one of those teams, along with the U.S., who's at 4 losses.
Well, I don't want to hang it up there for a double.
So Japan with a 3-1 lead.
We did clear that guard by a lot. It was the walk at the end. Yes, I cleared the guard by plenty.
Okay, good.
Good break for Canada. Sweden, of course, knew that if they were going to go for the double, the shooter was going to roll out. They would leave Colleen something, but Colleen's fortunate she's drawing to put a second one in the house.
Less.
That was very close. She didn't take a lot of ice. You didn't need a lot of ice, but she took on the inside of the stone. Maybe the edge of the stone would be fine because she threw that very well. She threw it very hard, so
at the end.
Get ready, get ready.
she just missed it. All she had to do was tick it.
Yep.
Got to get this shot covered.
Just died in the frost.
It just died is right.
Now the other team at 4 losses, that's the Americans. They can avoid a tiebreaker if they can beat Scotland, while the Scots are trying to keep themselves alive. This is Edith Loudon and her team from Perth against the United States, and Debbie McCormick from Madison, Wisconsin. And it will be the U.S. that stone top 8 foot. That's the counter. They'll steal 1 for a lead through 3.
Quiet tap back for 3 here. Right through there.
We haven't seen this spot. She's, of course, seen it in practice, I would assume. See what kind of curl she gets.
Right out of her hand. Lingham and Norberg called on by Eva Lund. Huge scrub now. Great chance for the Swedes to pick up 3 here in the third of a 1-1 tie. Big fight to get it by. Now spilling it in. And did they roll far enough? It looks like they may have rolled enough for 1.
They got 1, I think, Victor. That was a bit of hard luck, Linda, because she threw that very well, and she just rubbed the top. When she gets by, she's got that 3 points. They brushed this hard. They just got to get it by. She threw it nicely, just rubs it, comes off the other, and gets a single. Well, that was very close to a big 3 points.
There was a new spot we hadn't seen, and I think maybe just needed a tiny bit more ice.
So both teams miss chances for multiple point ends, and it's 2-1 Sweden going to 4.
So nice there.
Aim for first place in the women's competition here at the Fort Worlds in Winnipeg, and it is Sweden with a 2-1 lead over the Canadians as we go to the 4th. Final round robin draw. Round 9, Canada comes in, 8 straight wins, Sweden 7-1. And Canada with the hammer here in the 4th, but both teams, Linda Ray, Canada had a chance to score 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 in the second, depending on what they decide to play. And then there, Sweden missed the chance for 3.
That was a tough shot. Not the throwing part of it, the calling of the ice part of it.
It was a spot we hadn't seen, unlike the second end where we'd seen so many rocks down that same path. Going into the third, we saw the other turn played a lot.
Lots of room.
I think we can hold it out.
Wait only, guys. Got room.
This is quite a contrast to the way we saw Sweden play the last time we watched them. They're
right up.
There's no question they have a game plan, Linda.
Which I think is the right plan.
Oh,
Pauline's team is technically so good. You are not going to beat them by playing a hit game, as was proven in the 2001 World Final.
And there's a nice come around by Nancy. It's absolutely the perfect spot. Last time we had coming this way, we had to come around, and Nancy slipped it a little too deep, and that changed the complexion of the end, even though Colleen did end up with an opportunity to play a double for potentially 4.
First time we saw Helena was in Västerås, Sweden back in 1990 when she was throwing the 4th stone for the Swedish team, skipped then by Lotta Geisenfeld.
She's also an alternate for Elizabeth Gustafsson, and we saw her a number of times with that team. What a wonderful experience, I'm sure, for her to be a part of that World Championship team. Learn a lot by listening to a great team like that, being a part of the experience.
Line's fine. Wait only. Wait only, guys. Line's fine. Don't worry about the line. You've got room, but you're fine if the weight needs it. Well, just top 12, though, you guys. Just top 12.
I thought you called to go right to ours. Sorry.
That was a bit of a communication error. They didn't stick with the rock, and maybe as it was coming in, they should have tried to brush it by and not get the little rub on the yellow rock. Look at how much is visible from the hack end.
9,5.
That is wide open.
Nose hit, gets them all.
9,7. Nej! Bra! 9,7. Nej, 9,5. 9,5.
Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen.
9,2 bara.
Håller jag med om.
Tvåkette.
Regular. No. No. Whoa, 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 finish. Sorry, Nance, I thought you just had
That's
about
okay.
top 12. I would have had. I thought you only had about top 12.
Yeah, that's okay. She would have had we not swept it.
Ja. Eller 10 eller något.
It's tempting to hit the top 12-foot stone. You could hit the other one and try and roll behind.
9-7. 9-7. Eller tycker ni vi ska ta den där? Nej. Nej.
Just the right shot, I think.
It's a good call if you can get it just by that front one, control the top of the house.
Bra Katte.
Definite double.
Half to 3/4 even?
Even if we just poke that one out.
Just regular.
Playing the double, something
Regular.
people don't know about Marianne is she is a
double.
very good
I don't want the
singer, and
double.
she's
Hold it up.
entertained us both in the skins and this week at the Granite Club, and maybe
Yep.
after the
Whoa.
finishing the round
Whoa.
robin race, she'll head back to the Granite Club for a little dinner and entertainment
afraid the
tonight.
double
She's
might do
terrific.
that.
She's
Okay.
Bobby McGee. And the Granite, we have Rob Creamer from New
Job,
Brunswick,
Marianne.
who we saw at McCain Skins game in well, that was
JVC
JVC
TSN.
Skins game, sorry. And he's here entertaining. And the Granite wanted all the visitors to the city to know that they're open for business, and Rob will be there singing each evening up till Saturday, and the kitchen's open till midnight. So come and see one of the historical old clubs in our city. Built in 1912, beautiful old club.
Oj, förlåt Eva.
Oh, Vic, there's that shot, but it's not a good one for Sweden to be backing up like that.
No, I mean, backing right out. Canada with the hammer here in the fourth, trailing 2-1.
Just didn't hit it quite right, too thin, and once it bounces off another stone, that's how you get the bounce, and it goes in reverse, back out of the house.
Tell you what, lively house too.
Well, the other way?
Whoa.
Other way? Yeah, other way.
Yeah. Once it gets the curl, it's hard to go the other way.
What's she mean by that, Linda?
Sorry, Vic, I didn't hear the
Oh,
comment.
she said once it takes the curl, it's hard to go the other
I
way.
was just thinking it
Oh, it's
wasn't
just
I know.
they didn't catch the brushing in time.
so I gave her the easy hit.
Really hard to get the different roll once it does start to curl.
Please.
And that's a big miss. That was a good chance to get the hit and
Ja, bra
roll.
fart. Bra fart Eva.
The ladies are in their black shirts. They have the three colors, of course, red, black, and white. They will not wear the red.
We've got room.
They lost in the red
We've got room.
in
At the end.
Bismarck.
Coming. Yeah.
Won't wear red.
Yeah. Hurry.
I thought maybe the team was in the red.
Guys, it's popping out. Whoa, whoa.
Nice come around.
Nice shot, Kim.
Great shot by Kim. That's the kind of shot that really Kim is so good at, and she makes them so often at the right time. That is a great shot.
Look what she did.
Well, here's this must-win for Norway, or they'd fall back into a tiebreaker against Japan. Two-time world champion Dorothy Nordby. She won the World Championship 1991 here in Winnipeg. Final stone in the fourth against Japan and Shinobu Ayota. Quiet hit, sit in time. And look at it, spins back and just in time for two and a 3-3 tie.
Really, Linda, all Annette has here is a hit and roll in behind, trying to hit this stone and roll in behind the forefoot.
They played this spot in the second end, and it really ran straight for them. We'll see what kind of weight she plays at this.
Bra fart! Bra! Fin fart!
Yep! Nej, yep! 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 What?
Stanna!
Just about, a tiny bit too far.
Bra, Eva.
That was a great throw.
Yeah, just had to catch the brushing a little earlier. But what a great come around by Kim Kelly to get that rock
Well, Nancy, I
dead
can't
behind
see a
the
lot
long
of
guard.
it.
No, I know. I'm just saying certain roll here, if anything.
She's throwing very well, though. I'm impressed with Annette. Like I said, the first game they came out and really struggled, but since then she's been very calm, cool, collected, and throwing beautifully.
So give me
Back line.
She's coming down, gonna come down quietly. You can see the ice she's taking.
You know, really only back 12, you guys, back 8.
There's the talk. Tap that back to lie
I
2.
hope I get 2 cracks at it, you know,
Yeah.
because, yeah. Little less ice.
Do you think with 5.5 to the team? 4.5 even?
She can see half of the stone, so she has to play it quietly.
First stone for Colleen Jones, Canada with the hammer in the fourth.
Yeah. Hurry!
Marianne Way closest to the stone. Kim Kelly out in front. Diving at that center guard. Got it by their own. Yes, they do. Tap it back. Yes, they do.
Nice soft shot.
Nice throw. I couldn't see enough of it to throw it any harder.
right on.
Good brushing all the way here. Good call by Nancy from the other end. Got the movement, Linda.
Yeah, it really went. Once it got by the first guard, it continued to curl towards that redstone top 8. Little tap, and so Colleen knows that she hasn't left Sweden very much.
That's all Annette's got. Trying to freeze it in there.
Den här är bakkant vit. Bakkant vit. Ingenting då. Lite dålig hand. Dålig hand. Kommer nu. Ja. Ja. Ja.
Lingeman Norberg with the brush.
Wow, did that go?
Oh, and a little bit of an inside flip too.
Is that any good?
That really curled once it hit the hog line. Beautiful shot.
She was actually just trying to sit on top of it, and it just a little bit of weight, but it did really move. And now it's very buried. It just walks over here, Lou. Whoa.
They're definitely happy because they were in trouble, the Swedish team.
It's a tough shot now. I mean, you can't see any of it. If you take a look at this shot here,
I know.
and take a look at this guard up here, you can see, I'll just clear it for you, how little. She can't see any of that stone.
And Vic, unlike the last time we talked about the fact that Canada had a chance for 3, maybe 4, no rocks to come off, no doubles to try. You can see Colleen very frustrated.
I don't like it. I almost think I have to throw the run back.
Yeah.
I think I have to.
I like the bang, bang, bang.
She's got such a big chunk of the button.
That she does.
Well, they're going to try it. The yellow guard under the red rock top 8, I guess, is what she's talking about. Very tough shot to try the multiple score and get rid of that one.
I guess you could. Stick them. Okay.
Overcurl it a bit. Give me a little more ice. Oh, that was more I asked for. More.
Thank you, Nancy, for just moving over like that.
Just overcurl
kind
it a
of
bit.
it.
I definitely think the button is accessible. Colleen's worried about getting at it, but if we watch the way those last 2 finished when they got into the rings, you can get to the button, but Colleen feels this is the easier way to do it.
Yeah, there's no question you can get to the button. Absolutely no question.
And the stone is at the back of the button, too.
I mean, it's a very tough shot because you're just fooling around with about 6 or 8 inches, but it's there. Yeah, this is very makeable. If you make it properly, you might score 2.
Final stone,
Whoa.
Canada, Colleen
Whoa, whoa,
Jones.
whoa.
Nancy
No,
Delahunt
no.
hustles back. Call the line. Yellow onto red. Needs to curl up. And
yellow.
she'll run it by. It is 1 yellow. And Sweden will steal 1 here in 4.
Well, I guess I should have been back 4 that time.
Yeah. Guess I should have just thrown regular. Well.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
So a steal of 1 by Sweden in the 4th, and the Swedes with a 3-1 lead over Canada as we go to the 5th.
Well, we were chatting about it in the break, and Canada tried a very difficult shot, and it was an interesting contrast to the second end where Colleen had an easier shot. It was still a tough shot, but a little bit easier shot for a bundle. And that one was a very difficult shot for the most, too. So, sometimes a little hard to tell.
That's true.
And they look like they're unwilling this end to take any risks, play a hit on that one.
Well, the luxury here for Colleen and for Annette is that the game really, the positioning of the game doesn't really do too much to their situation.
As I said, the main thing for Annette, I think, is to send a little message after 2001 and not playing well. And the Swedish team has gotten Annette into a little bit of trouble, but great draws in 2, and in particular the little tap and roll in the last end worked out very well.
I really like the way they can throw the weight to this team. They make the complete step back in the transfer, of the weight with the hips dropping, Linda, that we talk about so much, and so they can get out of the hack with lots of motion. So they can throw the weight, throw it very accurately.
Good shot. Good dance.
There's the corner guard going up now that the stone in the house is a little bit further over.
Catherine Norberg in her 4th appearance at a World Championship. She's played twice with her sister, and then she skipped her own team. That was in 1997 in Bern, Switzerland. Remember what the name of the stadium was in Bern?
No, I don't.
No, it's called the Alleman Stadium.
You're looking these things up and then you...
It's really not fair. He's got the binder out. It's like, what can I ask them next?
But I remember clearly being in that stadium when there were 16,000 people.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was in 1979 when Peter Attinger played Christian Sørum for the World Championship. Sørum coming out the winner.
Updating Japan and Norway. Important game for all the teams at 5 losses. Trying to bring Norway back. Final stone for Japan's Shinobu Ayota. This appears to be a draw against 2, 1 top 12, 1 back. In a 3-3 tie.
Got that in, I think. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I thought it was really
that'll
short
come
when they
up
said
light.
short. Yeah. No, we could have gone.
1 back 8.
Certainly.
So it'll be a steal of 1 for Norway. 4-3. Doherty Nordby leads.
You know, that's the second time we've heard something we don't ever hear from this team, and that is not the clear communication. They said, yeah, we could have brushed it, we could have gotten by, not rubbed that guard, and that's the second time it's happened in this game. I know the team's tired. This is the end of the round robin. It's the end of a very long year, and that's one of the things that you lose a little bit of focus, and that happens. But that's something you don't want to have crop up in the playoffs. And this team is normally so strong at that communication.
Well, with the American team in complete control of this game against Scotland, and Doherty just taking a single on Japan, you could end up without any tiebreakers.
Doherty making it a little tougher on herself because last night she played the U.S. and had a chance in 10 and 11 to win that game, and threw the rock through in 11, and it was a steal and a win for the U.S. to keep them in a spot where they didn't need to worry about tiebreakers.
Weight's good. Still heavy. Weight's nice. Got room. Got room.
There.
Lots
Back
of room.
4.
What?
Back 4.
Yeah, okay.
Coming down.
Just T-ish.
Yeah,
Okay, go now then.
okay.
Go.
It's
Go.
too
Gotta
narrow.
bury it. Hurt. Hurt. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Bring it back to get more curl.
It's okay.
Nice shot by Marianne.
So as we mentioned, this game is for first place. Canada and Sweden either first or second. If the Swedes win, both teams would be 8-1. Sweden gets first by virtue of the win over Canada. Norway, U.S., they're both at 4 losses. One of them falls back, brings any team at 5 losses into play. If they both win, as Ray just mentioned, no tiebreakers. 3 and 5 teams are still alive. 5 needs help, though. You need a loss by either Norway or the U.S. If things finish the way they are right now, and Norway and the U.S. were to win their games, there would be no tiebreakers, but the U.S. would be ranked 3rd because they beat Norway in round robin. So if Canada finishes first, it's 1 against 4, they would play Norway. If Canada loses, they would be ranked 2nd, and they would play the U.S. That's
We can
if
draw
everything
there.
stays
We
the
can
way
hit
it
and
is.
roll there.
I like the hit and roll.
Okay.
And we never
turn do
say
you want?
things too early because they can change so quickly.
Intern.
Thank you, Linda.
Does this curl this way, guys? Regular.
Canada down by 2 with the hammer here in the 5th.
And those yellow stones are in a good spot to be moved up. Colleen's going to try and roll in off the yellow at the edge of the 8-foot.
And not enough of a rub, and it'll spin through.
Jag ska köra lite mer nu så det borde vara samma is.
So here are all the scores as we near the midway point of this ninth and final round robin draw. Italy playing spoiler. The Italians are out. They're eliminated, 6 losses. Russia needs to win to keep themselves alive. Norway can avoid a tiebreaker if they win. US can avoid a tiebreaker if they win. And Switzerland, Denmark, one of those teams will be at 5 losses to keep themselves alive. But again, we go back. Need a loss by either Norway or the US.
Or the bump up.
Well, Swedes not allowing the Canadians to generate much at all.
It is.
Bra. Kommer jag kunna vara mjukare? Ja. Ja. Det är bra. Det var jättebra.
But I don't like leaving them that shot.
Yeah, I mean, what if we hit that? She's probably going to deal with
back?
it. If we hit this one, she's not going to draw our guard.
I like playing the run back soft, though. I'm just going to go talk to her.
We could still hit that corner, that front yellow guy, too.
Yeah.
You know.
Nancy's thinking if we sit right here,
Yes.
she's kind of got to deal with that. She might just come right around.
Yeah.
If I play that, I'd like to kind of play a bump at it just to save it and also save my shooter to use. So I don't mind either one. Like, what do you think she'll do if we happen to stay right there?
That's a good question. I'm not crazy. Point here.
Yes,
too.
I know.
I'm
I
not
mean,
crazy.
if we
Knows
know
that she's going to have to deal with it.
I'm trying to come in here. She can just run that back again.
I know. I don't want to give her that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you nose this and then she noses it again, then that's going to be a better draw chance, don't you think?
I'm
And
not
then we've
convinced
got
she'll deal
control
with
of
it,
the
though,
fourth
Nance.
one.
It's the only
Think she'll
thing.
come around it?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not sure
I'm not
that she'll.
opposed to playing that guy either. If you
I
want.
don't know. I don't mind this though.
Okay. All right.
Just normal weight.
Yeah.
It's the one thing about the way Annette is playing. It is not the way she played against Colleen before. So Colleen isn't as certain. Sometimes, Ray, you have a pattern that you know a team will play, and so you can predict if I do this, they'll do this. She's not as sure today.
I like the run, the run back. There's so many possibilities, and you can spin off it. You can, if you hit it across, you might even hit it on the shot rock.
Hurry! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
You also open up the front.
Whoa! No!
Sit right there. Good. Okay.
You knew she was going to hit it. That's for sure. She's just going to sit right there.
Sådär och 9,5. Ja. Eller vanlig normal.
And one thing the Canadians had mentioned, Linda, was if they did sit right there, it's outside the rings maybe a little bit. It would provide a little easier way in a draw, but boy, that's moved out just a little bit now.
It all depends where this rock does end up. You're right, Vic, if it just hits right there, it's very wide for Colleen to come around it. She'd play the raise, I'm pretty sure.
We talked about Annette Norberg and her streak. She lost her first and has won 7 in a row. Canada on a streak of 8 straight. The record is 10 in a row. Elizabeth Gustafsson, 1992. Elizabeth Hogstrom, 1981. And now that flip in behind to lie 2.
Well, the nice thing about that for Colleen, though, is it opens up that side of the sheet. I think I would rather just sat right there. Force Colleen to play the raise. If this stone sits right in this position here, would have actually been a little bit out of the rings. It would have been right about here. Makes Colleen make a decision on playing this, but you can see now with it opening up.
Nice of her to roll there, right?
You can just hear the comment. Now she has a chance to get right around.
I know that. I got to bury it, though. The guard before was way over.
Colleen Jones in her first. Remember Colleen a couple of years ago when she won her championship, lost her first 2, then won 9 in a row to win the World Championship.
Whoa, whoa. Get ready. Yep. Yes.
Great looking time at the hog line.
Every bit. Hurry.
Marianne Way, Kim Kelly trying to take it back, and they will get it there for shot. Top edge of the 4.
Am I picking or fooling them or what? You know what? I don't know. We couldn't go in that much sooner though.
Wow, I mean, look, she knows is that. Where am I drawn to? I can't hit it, I can't do it. You know, that had to be deeper.
To pick this out of there. She lost those first 2 in that Mallee building, did she not?
Yes, she did.
Thanks very much.
Yes, she did. Our statistician, Soupy Campbell, looked even further back. Do you remember what your best streak was?
At the Worlds?
At the Worlds.
We won our first 7.
7.
That's why I said we didn't lose in playdowns until we clinched a berth in the Worlds.
Remember who you lost to?
It's either France or Norway.
Norway. Yeah. Remember the skip?
No.
Okay.
Anna back.
Ava Vanek.
I hope I never see any of the people that I haven't remembered this week, because there's been a few that you've tested me on and I've said, no, I don't remember.
Nice pick, so Colleen has to draw for the single, but she's got the side of the sheet and she just made the shot. So.
What a little concern, she said. Because she was a little afraid just not.
Well, she thought that if Sweden played a little bit quieter weight and sat there with the shooter, Colleen wouldn't have a draw. So Vic, she wanted her first draw brought back when it wasn't burying. And that way, no matter what they did, she'd have the top of the 4-foot open to draw. And I think it's just the lack of communication between the players on the Canadian team. It's just a little surprising because they're normally so good at it.
We've already mentioned that there's been a little bit of communication problem.
Line's good. Don't sweep it if it's more then.
Line's great.
Don't sweep it if it's more.
He's a good piece of the 4. Final stone.
The times have been
5.
Sorry, Vic. The times have been very consistent. That's a little bit faster. That doesn't mean it'll go through. It depends what happens right now in this part of the house.
And right now in this part of the house, it needs to stop. Needs to stop. Needs to stop, and it will not.
One yellow. Shoot.
I didn't grab it all in the house, that's for sure.
Sweden will steal one more.
13-9.
What's that, Kim?
Let's meet these 2 teams, and throwing the lead stones for Sweden is Helena Lingham. For Canada, it's Nancy Delahunt. The seconds are Catherine Norberg and Marianne Way. Throwing third stones, Eva Lund and Kim Kelly. And the skips, Sweden's Annette Norberg from Harnosand, and Canada's Colleen Jones from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. By Karcher, you'll look for things to clean. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Well, let's update the game between Scotland and the U.S. Now, this is one of those games with a team at 4 losses. That's the Americans. Scotland at 5, needing to beat the U.S. to keep themselves alive at 5. And it's been all the U.S. Americans scored 1 in the 3rd. They stole 3 in the 4th. And now Scotland and Edith Loudon from Perth in trouble again. And look at this. 1, 2, 3. Another steal of 3. Can you believe it? This week we have seen 12 stolen 3-enders. U.S. 7-0. Russia. Italy. Now the Italians we mentioned at 6 losses. They're already eliminated. The Russians at 5 need to win to give themselves a chance. Olga Yarkova down 5-0, playing 5. And it appears the Italians are that yellow stone, shot stone, top of the button. Final rock for this 24-year-old skip from Moscow in her third appearance at the Worlds. Looking at the little raise, not far enough. Yep, that's it. 6-0 going to the fifth end break. On an absolutely gorgeous day. It's again 15, 16 degrees outside. And on this Thursday afternoon, we welcome you back to Winnipeg, the arena. And a 4-1 Sweden lead in this battle for first place. Winner will claim first. But the Swedes have stolen in 4 and 5 to take the lead as we begin play here in 6. Canada with the hammer. This is the Swedish lead, Helena Lingam.
Well, when Colleen let that go, Linda, she said, you heard them say it's a little bit more, and it just slid through the forefoot.
I definitely showed it on our stopwatch time. I mentioned it was a little bit strong, but you can also throw it that little bit less, Ray, because you got great brushing on both of these teams, really. They can drag it that extra few feet. With the first stone coming deep, back 8 foot. Colleen doesn't have to worry about it. She's just putting up the corner guard.
This guy is as slow as it appears. Easy. But it is.
Just halfway. Halfway.
Sliding.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, because that's normal, I'd say.
Whoa. Good, Nance.
Nice weight, Nance.
Time to check the numbers after 5. They're brought to you by True Value Hardware. And here's Linda.
2 consecutive steals for Sweden. If you look consistency, that's on the side of Sweden as far as shooting percentages. For Canada, the 2 things that have surprised us, the communication issues and Ray not comfortable. So if you talk about all the C words, it's really Sweden with the advantage. And that draw percentage for Canada very low. And overall, Colleen is at 48%, having trouble with that draw weight.
Just a little too deep. They had to brush it to get it by, so it does allow Colleen a chance now to utilize it. Come around the corner and freeze on the face.
Now, when you were reading the ice, you were suggesting stones, guards in a particular position. Is that a good placement of a guard?
Yeah, it's covering the 8 foot, the plays in the 8 foot. Especially about this time of the game, when you start to see the frost start to creep in a little bit, the 12 foot becomes difficult to play.
Because it just keeps on skating.
Putting the second corner guard up first. Good opportunity on the other side, as Ray said, to come around, but they'll try and keep the rocks in play first of all, out front.
Okay, that's a whole 404.
Well, we've already seen that the U.S. is way out in front of Scotland at 7-0. So Japan is maybe the last hope for teams at 5 losses against Norway, and Shinobu Ayota playing Norway and Dordi Nordby. 4-3, Norway leading after the steal of 1 in the 5th. This is in the 6th end now for this 25-year-old skip. Second appearance at the Worlds. Little tap back. Oh, she'll slide too far, and Norway will steal again to lead at 5-3. So we mentioned again, should Norway win and the USA win, there will be no tiebreakers.
Okay.
Well, the young Japanese skip got caught with no rotation there, Linda. That stone almost changed turn. Looked like she threw it very, very well on that shot, and then it just it got to the top of the house, or maybe a little bit further out, and it almost changed turns. It just stopped curling. She had the right weight.
Good weight.
Lots of weight.
And a miss by the Swedish team
Line
means
only.
Marianne can play the come around now. They have the 2 corner guards up.
Line only. Line's
Great
great.
chance here if you can make the come around on this side, the way they're playing
Where?
it. The other
Deep
side, you've got the
back.
come around and the freeze.
I always have a hard time hearing T or deep. Deep. Whoa.
There's the communication you were just
Really
talking
struggling
about.
today.
Just curious. Just curious.
Okay, that's just a quick spot.
You made the point too during the break. They're just not in sync, Ray. Now, whether it's the game
but if
itself doesn't
Nancy's
mean
start is
anything.
4:17.
Takes the edge off. I'm not sure. Finishing first or second.
But you like to go into the playoffs on a winning note, and you know it doesn't make a huge difference because of the format, but still a nice opportunity to get around this corner guard.
Same weight should work here, I think.
Right there.
Marianne Way will try that.
Weight's good.
A good shot here, then it can really change this end around.
Weight great.
Put you in a solid position to score 2.
Room. Line's great. You got room.
The bonus is that Yellowstone
Whoa,
slipping
just here.
behind the tee line. You can be behind the corner and right to the face of your
Right to
opponent's
it.
rock.
Whoa, don't
little
bounce,
bump.
don't bounce, don't bounce. Shot. Good, Marianne. Nice shot.
That is a good shot. That is a good shot.
Did you get on that guy now?
Now, if nothing else, you got them playing on the side of the sheet, and you got them playing a quiet game. They're trying to freeze it right there. You always like playing with last rock when on the sides and keeping the 4-foot open and taking your chances to get a multiple score. 2 is all they need here. Put themselves right back in the game.
It's important that this one not go deep, because if you happen to go by that little pile, Canada could play into that area again if they wanted, and then you could be in trouble if you're Sweden. So this is a big shot.
Bakhand feet, backhand flow. Backhand feet, backhand feet. Trycker en bit. Trycker.
Right down on the face, a little tap back, but the Canadians continue to lie one. Well, you can bet that Rod Smith will talk about the Masters, or the lack of it. That's why we're on TSN today. The opening round was postponed because of all the heavy rain. There's that. More hockey playoffs coming up. Game 1s from the Western Conference.
This is a really nice situation sitting up here for Canada. If she can just angle freeze on this and just tap it back a tiny little bit.
That Swedish stone over curled. If it had held the line, it had perfect weight to corner freeze the Canadian rock. This one's going to be short.
Okay, Kim. Good.
Boy, if you just got that angle frozen, as you mentioned a moment ago, Linda, what a way. That's too bad that Kim was light there. That was an opportunity.
Lite mindre för.
Still going to try
Ja,
and
måste vara lite lösare.
get it right in there.
Bra. Bakhand feet, backhand flow.
Eva Lund, who's a former world junior champion of 1991.
Backhand feet. Aningen lös.
What building was that?
Aningen lösare, men inte fram till bakhand feet.
Huh? You know I haven't got a book on that, that's why, huh?
I do know that. Well, you've been so smug over there today.
Va?
That's still a chance here for Colleen.
Back 8, wait. Back 8? Yep.
I needed to stop a couple of inches shorter, and it would have been really tough for Canada.
But we'll try to keep it right there.
4-8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where? At 12. Yeah. Hurry! Ah!
Huge scrub now needed by Marianne Way. Nancy Della Hunt. Got to get by a stone top 12. And they won't.
Well, it's 2 big misses by Kim, and as you
Yeah.
said, she had been playing so well in the last few games.
The last couple games, she really got it going, but those were golden chances. They were just fantastic chances to get 2 or 3.
With that kind of weight, it's surprising how much it curled. Pretty good contact, so really not close to getting by that rock. Does spin in so that Sweden has to deal with it.
Would have flopped in the inside of it.
It would have been
Not the end of
perfect.
the world. Like, say she hits the outside and.
Colleen's still going to get a chance here, no matter what happens with the stone.
Where would you like to go with this one, Linda? Sit there or roll somewhere?
You don't have much choice, Vic, because you're trying to get Colleen not to go into that pocket. You pretty well have to sit right there.
Yes.
Well, the Scots trying to get themselves at least back into it, down 7-0 to the U.S. in a must-win for Edith Loudon and the team from Perth, playing the U.S. and the American champions, Debbie McCormick from Madison, Wisconsin. The U.S. got one with the hammer in the third and have stolen 3 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. Final stone now for Loudon. And we'll get 2 to get on the board. 7-2 in the U.S. will have the hammer in the 7th.
The double's not there here, and here it's just going to jam.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
just try to overcurl this a little bit.
The double off the yellow. No, you can't hit that one
throwing
first,
regular.
can you? Okay.
Let down. Sorry, I'm throwing control.
Control. Okay.
Try and roll a little bit to the outside.
Yep. 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 Hard. Little curl. Hurry, hard. Hard. Hurry.
Colleen
Crack
Jones in her
hard.
first.
Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Great shot.
Second shot.
Nice shot. Now we need to get a miss out of hand.
Oh, nice shot.
Good throws there, Kim.
Pardon?
Good throws.
Okay.
Rolls to a nice spot.
Throw, real nice weight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So, Vic, that's why we were saying it was important that Annette stick on the other side, because the yellow is still shot rock.
Okay.
Otherwise, Sweden will be trying to draw down to this area to just get in close for second shot. But now she can sit 2 if she makes a great corner freeze here.
Gonna try and get down on top of this. Just freeze it right there. And if she doesn't, she'll leave Colleen something.
Final stone for the Swedish skip, Annette Norberg.
Japp! Japp! Kom in, riktning! Kom igen! Inte för far! Nej! Inte för far! Nej! Japp! Riktning! Kom in nu tjejer! Kom in, håll det där! Kom in, jätteviktigt! Kom igen!
Gonna try to come off their own maybe and roll across.
pretty nice break, I think. Did they hit? Is the red the second shot, or is it the yellow, Vic?
I thought it might be the red when it first stopped, but boy, are they close.
Yeah, very close.
I don't know who's won there, Colleen.
Doubles there, though.
I think it might be us. Well, we have to hit and stick on this one anyway, right?
It's really moving in this spot. Even the hit that they've played in this area, getting lots of curl.
Well, she just had enough weight. I'll tell you, that's just a little bit short. It's a hit for 3.
No, but this one will go. Oh, no, this one's
And I don't know whose second shot here.
And that's definitely had the right weight. That one over-curled the spot.
Well, maybe not. It won't out-count this one.
I thought it was us, too.
Yeah. You think it's who?
I think it's us.
Marianne thinks it's them?
Us.
Okay.
Us.
So Colleen thinks it's red, so this is a hit for 2, and that's all she needed to get back in the game.
They brought down Marianne, who has the eagle eyes on the team, and she agreed.
That bounce, we were hitting for 3 here.
Oh, so rude, eh?
So rude.
Although 2's not bad.
I'll take 2.
Yeah.
Okay, the same weight I just threw, but you're might have to hold the sweep here because it will walk across a little bit. But this looks like good ice for.
Just a nose hit. Nose hit, and we'll measure to see whether it's 1 or 2.
Final stone, Canada and Colleen Jones in the 6th, down 4-1.
Hurry!
Sweeping it.
Hard!
Right out of her hand. Marianne Wade, Kim Kelly pick it up.
Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Looking to score a couple. Don't want to touch that one. Oh.
Did they touch it?
They just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that could be the difference between 1 or 2. Because I agree with you and them. I think it was red before that. Not so
barely
sure now.
touched it. It's going to be interesting to see. With the frostier ice, sometimes those rocks don't move as easily, Vic, once they're struck by that tiny little bit of weight.
You heard, maybe you heard colleagues that if it's really bad luck if it's just the one.
I know.
Even placement.
It is 1 red, and it is a 2nd point for Canada. April 18th will be a special day on CTV because of Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler and the 4 remarkable women who won Olympic gold in curling. Watch Friends First, the story of Team Schmerler, April 18th on CTV. Continuing with our updates, Switzerland against Denmark. Both teams at 5 losses. The winner will at least have a chance to be in a tiebreaker. The loser will be eliminated. Final stone for Denmark and Dorte Holm. And it's a long afternoon for Dorte as Switzerland leads at 7-1. Now Japan is trying to bring Norway back. Norway and the U.S. both at 4 losses. Final stone for the Japanese skip Shinobu Ayota from Hokkaido playing Dorte Nordby. And you can see she's lying 1 back edge of the 8-foot. This is a draw for 2. And just enough to get 2 to tie it. 5-5 going to 8. Canada gets 2 in the 6th after the measure, so they're down by 1. Sweet playing the Yellowstones with the hammer as we pick up play in the 7th.
But the biggest difference really between these two teams right now is the lack of draw weight, it seems, by the Canadians. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit short on a lot of shots. Or last end, I think they could have even gotten more than the deuce. Maybe if Kim had made a key shot. First guard up by Nancy, but after the great come around by Sweden, Helena, Nancy's next come around actually was supposed to be a freeze to the face of that, came way deep into the rings. Sweden now drawing to the open side to try and sit two. They want this one right back. No.
This is the time of the game that the frost starts to, you can see it out there, you can see it. The patching, shiny area in the 4-foot path. Chance for a hit and roll here, Marianne.
No, no. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, sorry, Marianne.
That's just a bad call by Colleen, and you heard her apologize for it because Marianne threw that perfectly and should have had that roll, Lou.
It was a great chance as that draw hit a little bit of this frost and didn't curl enough. And so it didn't get to the wings. It was a chance for the roll, but you can see especially, Vic, in that painted circle.
So in the blue, the darker part then would be, or the let's point it, the lighter part then is the frost coming up through the.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Ja, 9,5. Fin fart.
Still a chance to come down, tap that back. Back 12-foot weight is what Colleen's looking for. Just flip in a little bit.
4 on this side, I think.
Back line. Back 12.
Line's 4.
Remember, Sweden playing the Yellowstones does have the hammer here in the 7th.
Whoa. No.
Just back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hard. No, it's hard. Hard. Whoa. 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 Any roll now? Nice shot.
That was a very nice shot. Marianne's made some nice shots. She's really playing well.
Great. She threw, I'd say, 4.38 even.
I got a 36, so
that was a great touch because it's that perfect in-between weight that sometimes is hard to read for the skip as far as how much ice to give. If you throw a little bit too much, it will run straight. Lovely touch.
Marianne's so quiet. You never hear her say anything very much.
The Swedish second, Catherine Norberg. Get it by the guard. Nope.
Ville sopa det. Ja, men jag vet inte. You guard it both, Kim.
Okay.
You know, because if you guard our red, she's got that.
Yeah.
That's the call.
Just nice right there, guys.
Kim Kelly.
Yep.
Careful. Careful.
Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. No.
Whoa.
No. Whoa.
Whoa.
That one went straighter than Colleen thought it would. It was too much ice, I think, because she called the brushing at one point for Kim's rock.
Control to ever stay with that ice.
Is this the part of the game they'll have to watch the ice changing a little bit? It's what you talked about, Ray, in the ice reading segment, that as the 7th, 8th ends come by, it will straighten up just that little bit.
Eva Lund.
Lots of rotation, lots of weight. They love to throw the weight.
And just missed the double.
And they throw it well, I might add.
Make a point, you never know.
Should go to the wing there?
Det är bra, Eva.
Lots of rotation on the handle, lots of leg drive.
Yeah, right.
Solid weight.
Just needed to curl a little more, and she had the double.
Nice weight.
Line's fine. Lots of room here. Lot of room. Lot of room. Weight's great. We got no curl.
Great weight.
The thing you have to watch as a skip in the latter part of the game, if it is a little straighter, is that you don't leave your draws wide open. You're better not to come near the corner guards or center guards, whatever they may be, if there's a chance that you're just going to leave the hit and roll. Because sometimes the only way you can get behind those guards is to roll into that position.
Kom igen på vilken del, kom igen.
Bra. Det är bra, Eva.
Anywhere is fine. Remove it, sit there, roll over a little bit.
Whoa! Whoa!
Just don't jam it.
Would be pretty stinky, wouldn't it?
Good girl.
Oh.
Yeah. Kim. Would be pretty stinky, wouldn't it?
It would be.
That's what I wanted to do.
Like you wouldn't want to call that, but it's a good shot.
Want
Yeah.
to not see. No, sure wouldn't.
Good shot.
Synd på din där, den måste nästan ha skurit alltså. Han är liksom inte ens sätta ner så.
It'll be interesting to see this freeze attempt, because we've been talking about how it appears to be a tiny bit different as far as curl right now.
Still trying to get her dew back, so she's going to try and freeze to the face of it.
And Norberg in her first.
Jag skulle vilja ta den.
Ja, kom igen där tjejer! Vad har ni den?
She's had nice draw weight up to this point, but this one's a little light. You're gonna have to really drag it.
Vilken seg. 15.
Vad segnat, det var 15.
Well, Scotland got 2 in 6, their first points, and here they are lying 2 again. The U.S., Debbie McCormick, trying to avoid a 5th loss, avoid falling back into a tie-breaking situation. Trying the in-off, and won't make it. Oh, Scotland picks up a steal of 2, and a 7-0 lead is now 7-4 for the team from Wisconsin.
She's got the split, but not if we come around it, right? Does she have the split?
She does have a... No,
Not if
that's
we're
right. Be tricky.
It is tempting, isn't it?
It is tempting. I also don't mind to score 1 and have it hammer an 8. Okay, let's do that. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I like the hammer too.
Whichever one your gut's telling you more.
Well, they were talking at the hack end about the come around because the red stone at the back of the 8-foot is shot rock. But at this point of the game, with the ice being pretty tricky, I would not be trying it.
No, this is the call. I agree, Linda.
Yep.
You got 2 back last time, and then you go get it next end again.
Hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! We're good. Whoa! Shot.
Avoids the jam to lie 3.
Good shot.
And Annette's going to choose the other turn. I do think the right-hand side of the sheet, the one closest to the stands, it has not been played as much and is a little bit slower, and she's more comfortable playing the other side. They know better. Just a little bit tricky on that stand side to judge the speed.
Final stone, Annette Norberg, Sweden, here in the 7th. And drawing against 3.
Det är bra fart.
14.5, maybe even 15 will get it there on this side.
Har en rygg. Har en rygg.
Ja, då får vi ta den nu. Vi behöver det. Behöver en rygg? Ja.
Nice draw.
Back 4 for the single.
Vi 3 borde ha bättre kommunikation här.
Interesting.
You see at the end of the Winnipeg arena the flags of the countries that are part of the World Curling Federation, and we got word this week that Greece and Ukraine have been added. As we take a look at these player comparisons, brought to you by Nokia, the official wireless phone of the Season of Champions.
Great numbers for both leads. I said Nancy was #1 for leads coming in. Still nice numbers for her, but Helena had the better plus-minus. That's when you compare the percentages, and if they're 5 percentage points or more above the other player, you get a plus. So she's close to, but not quite at that plus in this game, the Swedish lead. Very strong players to start off for the 2 teams.
She did over center, didn't she?
Corner guard up in a good spot.
Nära.
Nära.
Ja, nära tror jag. Jag tror att det är hellre in faktiskt.
Okej.
Det har hon sagt förut i alla fall.
Ja. Nära. Nu är den nära.
Ja, jättebra. Hake! Hake!
Ja.
Mittemellan!
Ja! 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 Det räcker där då.
Canada with the hammer in the 8th.
Ja, jag med. Samma.
Well, he's not here.
Line's fine. Off. Off. Hands the room.
Mighty rock.
Way out. Where's her weight?
It's back house. Coming down a bit.
No line.
Can we go around it again?
Whoa. And a crash for Shirkin.
Crashing.
You are. You're crashing.
Hard to throw such itty bitty weight on that 8 rock.
Marianne Way with those tremendous numbers at hit, but the whole team really struggling with that draw speed. So it brings down her overall percentage. And the opposite for Catherine. Her draws are quite good, and the majority of the play, of course, at second is a hit. And that drags down her overall number.
Well, in retrospect, they maybe should have brushed that one. I think they could have maybe tucked it around, got it by. It was definitely wide.
Kom igen nu, Eva. Kom igen. Oh. Det är bra.
And we'll sit to lie 2 without.
We can peel now,
This
too.
9th draw getting a lot of attention from the local
Holly, we
media,
could hit and roll for a
newspapers,
corner.
wire services.
Hit and roll?
You won't miss a thing with that kind of lens, will you?
I said
That's
we
right.
can hit and roll for a corner if you want to. Oh, yeah.
This is for first place, Sweden versus Canada.
Playing the angle freeze, they could have peeled
Wait's
off the guard
good,
had they
good.
wanted.
Wait.
Center guard.
Wait. Whoa.
Line only.
Whoa.
Little bump.
Whoa. Just to it. Whoa.
It's all there now.
Whoa.
Bumping a little.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
All there,
Whoa,
all there,
whoa.
all there.
Great shot, Marianne.
Nice shot.
Pistol.
Shot.
Well, that's perfect draw weight.
Straight line on it.
Good positioning of that rock by Marianne.
What a different Swedish team than we saw play
Någonstans däremellan. 15 ungefär.
2001 as far as their approach to the game. They've obviously gone to school on Pauline's preferences.
Lite kort. Korta strecket. Hake. Hake mittemellan.
Kom igen! Jämsides! Kom igen! En liten studs! Kom igen!
The NHL playoffs continue on TSN. Tonight it's game 1. The Anaheim Ducks are in Detroit to play the Red Wings, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
Action on the red into the house.
I think
That
I'd
was-
peel, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, that was before the NHL, of course. Victoria's.
Before everything.
Yep. Hurry.
The guards are overlapped. They'll try and
Hurry,
peel them
hurry.
off. Maybe some action possible on that red.
Go on the red. Go on the red.
Okay.
Good call. Get them off of there.
Did that hit?
Great shot. I don't know.
Take a look at it.
Did that go out?
Lots of rocks moving, that's for sure.
Glida bort den då.
Well, Kim wouldn't be all that pleased with the numbers, but she has the edge over Ava, who has had some good shots, but struggled also when you look at those draws. Boy, it's been a tough day, and it actually, the speed to me looks the same. We're getting the same times as usual at the hog-to-hog period.
The house seems to be dying a little, in some areas, a little quicker.
Det är bra. Ut med det. Det är bra.
Well, there's an example,
yeah,
right,
example
there.
right there, yeah.
You know, just 4 to 8 fine, gets into the blue, and it starts to die.
But this is a nice opportunity. The game has gone to the edges now, so you can get in behind this corner guard, hopefully.
It'll be a good look too, Ray, at whether or not we can get to the edge still. The guard's
Get
just
any movement down here on the
not even
lots of
covering a
time.
piece of the 8, I guess, so they have to really get some movement.
Yeah, we kind of told our viewers
leave
that
it out.
later in the games, getting up into the 12-foot was tough, so we'll see if we're right here or not. Usually we'll curl
Now finish
in
it.
the 8-foot, but
Behind
when
the
you get to the
tee,
12-foot, sometimes it stops curling.
Hurry. Right up, team.
Okay, ready, go.
Nice shot, Kim.
That's exactly what
Back
happened.
him.
It just stopped going in there. Not bad, though. You have to be careful when you're playing this.
26.
Without that frost on the surface like that, you'll see rocks they will finish, is what we talk about, and they'll kind of tuck themselves around those kind of guards, but they won't when the frost line is there.
Canada brushed that stone back to get it more covered so that it wasn't a more open hit. Sweden electing to play the freeze now.
Bra, lite kan vara lite lång. 98. Nej, bra fart. Lite lång. Ja, trycker för fart. Trycker. Ja. Trycker. Ja. Nej. Trycker nästan ut. Trycker ut nästan.
Oh, now a chance to make a good shot, Linda, if you can get it to move a little bit for you.
All right.
Okay. So just back line. All right.
This way, just back line.
So just a little more and I threw, eh? You guys
Just a little
sit
more
right-
weight than what
right
you
in
just
there.
threw.
Yeah.
Kim Kelly.
Because of the conditions, this is not an easy shot, but boy, if you ever make it, Lou, you're in great
Not
shape.
moving. No line.
Clean it. Clean it. Clean it. It's trying.
No line.
No, it's
No line.
Great weight, Kim.
It's in.
just won't go up there. It was trying, but touch too much ice, I guess. And then, even then, I don't know if it's going to come up.
No, it's hard to tell.
Okej bara.
Ja.
Eller
Ja.
säg vilket du vill.
Nej, men det är okej.
Den där finns ju för sig.
It's what
Jag tänkte
Det
att det är
känns väl bra.
lättare. Va?
Det där känns väl bra.
Vad vill du ha för fart då? Clearing?
9.
9. 9. Ja.
And Colleen definitely struggling with that draw weight. And earlier we said an interesting couple of calls too. She tried a tough run back on a hit shot. That would have brought that number down a little bit. And I'm surprised at Annette's draw percentage because I haven't noticed her miss by that much. She's made a couple of huge shots to keep her team in the game really early on.
Tough scorers here in Manitoba.
I think there is, yeah. It wasn't a bad idea for Annette to play that outside in turn, only because we see how difficult the other one is becoming, but that rolled too far.
Right there, set up your deuce.
Lock it on.
Lock it on.
What am I throwing? 5. 5.
Same as it's been.
You just see the frost. You see the shiny area in the front, down the center, and then the frost line sets up. So when you're playing out there, the rocks just won't go up into it.
Line's fine.
Lots of line.
Yep.
Lot of line, guys.
Have lots of room.
Colleen Jones
Yeah.
and her
Make
first
sure you're
Canada
here.
with the hammer in the 8th.
Yeah.
Down by
Make sure
2.
you're here. Mine's nice now.
Yeah. Whoa. No
We're
bounce.
there.
No bounce. Yeah. Her.
Trying to bring it down and put it right on the corner. What a beauty.
God, that's how you get two. One of the things you've noticed that Marianne and Kim are using the hairbrushes, and I cannot believe that more teams have not gone to the hairbrushes on this ice surface. The same thing, how many times did we say it last year in Bismarck, Linda?
Yes.
And the ice maker said to us, I can't believe these teams haven't switched to the hairbrushes.
I feel like every
Frost comes up between the pebble, and to get it down into the frost area, the hair will do the job better than the other ones that kind of glide along the surface. At least that's the theory.
0-2. 0-2 var den.
Här är ner och trycker. Trycker en bit. Nej. Den är lite, alltså bakkant blått. Nej. Bakkant blått. Inte ett drag. Ner och trycker. Inte ett drag. Inte ett drag. Inte ett drag. Inte ett drag.
Just a little bit strong.
And that little spill now. Can they do something with that? Well, we have our first final. And it will be Switzerland keeping themselves alive with an 8-2 win. That's Nicole Strauzak from Bern beating Dorte Holm of Denmark. But now the Swiss need a loss by either Norway or the U.S. to get them into a tiebreaker.
I think this is just going to catch that.
I know, but will it I'm afraid it's going to bounce it to there.
It's at such an angle, though. You think it, you know, we've got.
You got to try to attempt to get across the face a little bit.
Marianne.
It may bounce it, but you don't have any choice. You got to try it.
Are we good to hit this with regular?
I think so.
I mean, that can't squirt that way too far. I don't.
I know. It's just a matter of it only has to roll it a couple of inches.
Well, and actually, this one too. See, this one's not going anywhere either.
So go that way.
Yeah. We're just talking about the weight more than anything here.
Yeah. Good point. There. Yeah. Good point.
Okay.
Just throw them regular though.
Regular weight. I don't think there'd be a lot of movement on the stones over there. Maybe if the house was alive.
Well, we saw just a couple of stones ago. Still seemed in the 4 and 8 foot that was lively, but as soon as it gets to the 12-foot blue, then it's dead.
And I think Marianne's point is the Yellowstone in the 12-foot may act like a little catcher, Ray. It's a little bit ahead, but
move this one.
I'm not sure that. I think Marianne said I don't know if you can roll too far.
Just to show you that I can still draw, Vic. Haven't lost that old touch.
That's one thing I do know. You have not lost the touch.
Never had it.
Well, a chance here for the Canadians to get a couple. Final stone in 8.
Yep. Hard! Hurry! Hurry up!
Marianne Way closest to the stone.
All the way.
Kim Kelly out in front.
Whoa! Yep.
Got to come across the face, push it back.
Great shot.
That's the way to do it.
Good shot.
She came out a little inside. Maybe not so bad, because I don't think if you're wide, it'll work for you.
Yeah, good thing, good thought, Linda, because I think if you're outside anywhere, you're not going to get this to move at all. And they actually yelled sweep, and then you could see it was perfect. Ran straight down there. Great job. Well played in. That's how you get a deuce.
Because the other game, remember, you wanted to, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm good with that.
I say take what you can get.
Maybe.
Let's continue with our updates in this final draw of women's play. It's round 9. And this is the U.S. against Scotland. Now, the Americans opened leading 7-0, and then the Scots got 2 and 6. They stole 2 more. So it's 7-4 as Debbie McCormick from Madison maybe just nervously throws her last one in 8. When you have a look here as the stones come into view, look at all the red stones in the rings, and they are all Scottish stones. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and she'll catch just that much of the button for the single. And it's once again an 8-4 lead. Scotland will have the hammer. The U.S. at 4 losses, trying to avoid falling back into a tie-break situation. And it's the same story between Japan and Norway. Norway's at 4 losses. If either of those two teams fall back to 5, well, then it brings in any of the 5-loss teams, of which we know now one is Switzerland, sitting there at 4 and 5 after beating Denmark and hoping that either the U.S. or Norway will lose. As we go to the 9th in this game for first place, tied 5-5, and Sweden playing the Yellowstones has the hammer.
That was a pretty nice draw by young Debbie McCormick. I mean, that was no easy shot. I think the Scots were lying 2 in the front of the forefoot.
They were, yes.
And she had to go way out to make that. That could have been another steal of 2, and all of a sudden, does that make a difference? Nice shot by Debbie.
Now this is an interesting start to this end because the first stone of the end came in and there was an exchange of hits. A rollout by Canada meant Sweden could make a choice. The score is tied, they have the hammer. They could have played another one in and tried to blank this end and carry the hammer home, but no, they put up the corner.
So she's going to try and get 2.
Let's take a look at what's going on between Japan and Norway. And you see the Japanese at 5 losses, trying to bring Norway back, keep themselves alive, bring Switzerland into play now. Final stone for the Japanese skip from Hokkaido, Shinobu Ayoda. And this is a draw for 1 and far enough to tie it 6-6, going to 10. But Norway and Dorothy Nordby will have the hammer, the last rock, coming home.
I was just a little surprised at Sweden putting up the corner. Nice come around by Canada.
Well, and especially on that side. That's the tough side. We haven't played over there very much. Great coming around. You have to be careful with your brushing. On the last draw by the Japanese, they just were kind of casual about the brushing. And you saw how quickly that rock came to a halt.
Ja, det är bra. Bra.
Trycker lite. Inte om det är 10.
Wow. Det är bra.
So this game we know for first place. Canada wins, they'll finish first. Sweden wins, they're number 1. Norway, USA, 4 losses. Both of them win, no tiebreakers. And we know Denmark now, with the loss to Switzerland, have been eliminated. They 6 is not in the mix.
Ska vi göra?
Try and get a hit and a little roll.
Just getting ready to play third stones here in this 9th, and I'm looking at the time, Linda, for Canada, 10:30 and counting down here. The Canadians are maybe a little some time tight for them.
It definitely was at the end of the 8th end. It was at 12.5 minutes, but now we're playing some hits, Vic, so they're making up some time on that.
Stay, please. Roll, but not out, Nance.
Yeah.
Good, Kim.
Good shot.
Well, the Canadians talked in the break, and they said, well, let's just try and force her to take a single and get the hammer back and come home.
But they tried the force by putting the first one in. It was a tough way to do it until Sweden played along.
I guess she knew what Sweden was going to do then.
The Swedish third, Eva Lund. Mentioned she won the 91 World Junior Championship.
Bra fart! 10. 10 själv.
Just peeling it out.
All right.
Russia and Italy. Russia, again, one of those teams at 5, trying to stay there, but needs help from Norway or U.S. A loss by either of those two. You know, first things first, you got to win the game. Final stone on its way for the Russian skip, Olga Yarkova. And she'll draw for her 2. But the Italians lead by a pair, and they also have the hammer in 10.
See how much this curls. There hasn't been a lot of play on this side of the sheet, so the pebble is there, but as you get closer to the 12 foot, so is the frost.
Ta det lugnt. Nej, ingenting. Nej. Ja. Nej. Inte för fart! Inte fart! Ja! Ja!
Well, this one's going. They're trying to get it by.
Nej. Kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen, kom igen.
And it will spill in to sit third shot. Sweden with the hammer.
On the beak.
Just a nose hit here, right on the nose, you heard her say.
Looks like Annette will be facing 3 in a moment. That guard is pushed over a little bit now, so we'll see what she decides.
Clean.
Whoa.
Clean all the way. Nice shot, Colleen.
Nice shot.
Right on the beat.
Kind of looked like it might have hit.
It made me a little nervous.
Yes, and I thought it hit.
Första isen, ja precis.
Shot.
Oh, I saw a little pick.
No, I didn't. No.
What did I say?
No. Wasn't
No.
there. Nice shot. Nice throw.
Oh, okay.
Ja, runt 10. Runt 10.
Trying to get it right down on the face. Right there. It's pretty easy with this pencil, isn't it?
The easier come around actually looks like it would be on the rock that is in the top 12 foot that is owned by Canada. It's an easier spot. She's got to corner this to get shot stone.
Kolla lite. Nej, inte där. Inte för fart. Inte för fart. Nej. Jo. Nej, nej, nej. Ja, måste. Ja. Ja, ja, ja. Kom igen då, kom igen. Det är inte fint. Kom igen. Kom igen lite till också. Kom igen.
Nice looking shot. Not
Very nice.
quite.
Still is.
The line wasn't right. They needed to brush it a little more to keep it on the center line side.
Canada line 1 for sure.
Very close.
Jag tror tyvärr inte det.
Okay, which way is the smarter way to come? This way?
Well, you don't want to give her the double on that one.
They were off it because it had the correct speed, they felt, but the line was being lost now, so they needed to brush it earlier to keep the line.
I wish it were at center.
Curled pretty well there.
Well, it's, you know, it's, I've got to go way out here, Nance, for that.
Fast det är för sig inte så viktigt. Med rätt träff så
She's, yeah.
You can't afford to go with the intern
You
here. That's
choose
what they're
your- is
talking
that where
about.
you
You
want,
can't
Colleen?
afford to go that way. So you got to go, just clear it. You've got to go out this way here.
It's hard to say who's
Try and
shot
get-
there.
It's also going to
In
be, it's
behind
not
this
going to be
one.
hard for her to hit this and remove this and stay second shot.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's got to go that way in order to roll.
Why ever would she be touching that?
All right. It's hard to say who's number 2 there.
The Swiss have done their job in this final draw. They've won. They've eliminated Denmark. They are alive for the moment. But keeping an eye on the game between
Okay, we gotta
Scotland,
be, back
U.S.,
to 4.
Japan,
Okay.
Norway in
She'll be able to
particular. They
play
need a
that
loss
jam
by
over
either the
there.
U.S. or Norway to give themselves a chance at a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Now explain why the intern is, you couldn't afford the intern. Why?
If you left the corner open, you'd have a double
good.
takeout possible for Sweden if the rocks didn't set up right.
Line only.
Yes!
Line.
Hard line! Hurry hard! Hard, guys, hard!
stone for Canada and Colleen Jones here in the 9th.
Whoa! Not enough. Not enough. Hard! Okay. How was the weight?
Yeah.
We just kind of got stuck in this, you know?
Well, it just came over. You
I guess the
were
line.
Top 4, yeah.
Now, if that yellow one hadn't overcurled so much, there might be a shot for 2, but I don't see it.
Måste bara spela
Pretty
någon
tough.
bakhands hackfart.
Ja, för du ser inte.
Nej, jag ser inte så jättemycket.
You can roll your shooter in, or you can move the yellow one up.
Men jag menar, en halvträff med en take, då blir vi ju kvar
You can
här.
definitely roll the shooter in, as Linda says.
Hur mycket ser
Coming
vi?
down here, like hitting this one here. You can roll the shooter, but to there,
Den är liksom, den
But
tar
this
nästan
rock
in
here-
mot linan, så det är därför jag inte känner för
we'll
take.
go on to this one,
mer än
and
10, men vad tänkte du?
this will be the
Halv-
second shot
halvfart.
rock.
Gud vad lite det ser.
Ja, men alltså det går jätterakt här.
Men
Alltså.
Sarri då? Är det så rakt? Men om du känner det, då vet du det.
Ja, alltså
Då är det här. Okej, vi kör det. Du har sett så många
Ja, det är
stenar.
liksom det. Jag har ju missbedömt Kattes takear här och sopar dem för mycket hela tiden för de har liksom gått, de har rätat ut sig.
Ja, men vi
sista
kör
biten.
hackfart då. Hackfart! Hackfart!
Okej?
Ja.
I think maybe they can get the deuce here, Linda, obviously. Pretty tough.
Yeah, I just don't see how that yellow will... I guess maybe the angle's there. The overhead made it look like the angle wouldn't be there to keep the second one in play.
Hack Sarri! Yeah! Hack Sarri! Yeah!
Lingham and Norberg on the brush. There's the angle raised to get one.
I think she did it.
Think
looks
she
close.
squeezed it in.
I think she did it.
I think you're right.
That little bit of a rebound moved it enough.
It's 2.
It is 2.
Good shot. It's a very good shot. Looked like the angle was very tough, but it was there, obviously.
It's just this little late jiggle off the Canadian stone actually comes in a little bit.
She was right on.
Oh well, girls.
Ja, ja. Jag tror det. Jag är den som är...
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Let's update the game between Scotland and the U.S. after the Americans got 1 in 8. Final stone, this is Edith Loudon in a situation where she must win to keep herself alive, bring the U.S. back, keep the teams at 5 losses in this. Lying 1, see it top 4 foot. She'll crash, they'll get 1, and it's 8-5. U.S. going to 10.
That was the attempt at the tick for Canada. Or for Sweden, the Canadian stone trying to get just pushed to the back of the house, but it goes too far. Canada gets to put it back.
As if she just kicked it into the house and put it just left
Those
it.
ticks or maneuvers on this corner guards are much more difficult than the center guard. You don't have much room to play with. Canada with the hammer looking for a 2 to tie and a 3 to win, and that's why they're putting up the second corner guard. Nice shot that last in by Sweden. Nancy and us, when we looked overhead, thought when they tried that maneuver they wouldn't be second shot, but once you pulled out to the front and had a good look at the angle, it actually was much better than we thought.
Still was a very, very tough shot.
Very,
definitely was there. She was absolutely right. From our view and looking at it, it didn't look like, as you say, from the overhead, it didn't look like it was even possible.
I had a few problems peeling earlier. Sweden wants to get these guards off.
Marianne Way.
Putting up another corner.
Got something under it too.
What they're hoping is Sweden might go after that rock in the house, ignore the corner, and Canada can try and build some extra points by utilizing the guards.
Right up. Good. Good, Marianne.
That's a good spot for the corner too. It's right edge 4 foot. Sweden is not going to fool around. She's talking. She started up there anyway.
Well, Norway has a chance to clinch a playoff spot here with her final stone. The Japanese just failing to get behind, half buried, but a big rush now needed by the front end of Haslam, and holds final stone. Doherty Nordby trying to sneak it by, got it by, and there it is, and Norway will win it, scoring 3. 9-6. The final, and so Norway and Doherty Nordby are in to at least the playoffs, and that eliminates another team, and now the only hope for the 5 lost teams is Scotland and the US.
Lots of weight. Yep. Hurry, line. Hurry. Hard line, hard. Hard. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Whoa.
Oh dear, don't go in there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's all right.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because that's...
Köpa den!
I said it might not curl as much late in the game, but they seem to be still getting some pretty good movement. That is in the middle, though.
Yeah, I think that, okay, you're right. I think because it's over there, there's definitely, if that rock was over covering the edge of the 12 and half of the 8, you wouldn't see as much movement.
Kim Kelly.
Slow on weight.
Hard for 9, guys.
Hurry.
Got room, actually. Got room.
Go for weight, hard. Hurry. Right up.
A great line. Not too deep.
Okay.
Nice looking line on this one.
Whoa,
Nice
whoa.
shot.
Good shot, Kim.
We're really low on time, Colleen.
What?
Playing these extra draws is eating up the clock. Remember, if someone runs out of time, Kim looking up at it,
We're okay for time, I think.
you forfeit the game.
3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining for Canada.
Ligger bakom 10. Farten har du ju.
Just going to freeze on top of it, follow it down, sit right on top of it.
She could peel the guard and hope that Canada doesn't make a good shot to try and sit 2. Sweden ahead by 2 points.
Fin fart!
Bakkant!
Bakkant blått. Rent, rent, rent. Igenom.
Igenom.
Igenom. Rent. Eka då.
Bakkant igenom.
Ja! Nej.
Why are we doing that?
Okay, so we have to do it.
I can see the back one.
Regular.
Yep.
Whoa! Whoa!
Stay. Curl.
Whoa!
Curl.
It's not curling, is it?
Stay.
And here's the last chance for any teams at 5 losses. Scotland need to score 3, and it's a stolen 3 they need, and we've seen plenty of those this week, 12 of them. So why not here, says Edith Loudon, but this is a tough shot. She's got to chip a stone off the face and stick to line 3, and she cannot, and so the U.S. will win it. And there will be no tiebreakers. That eliminates now any team at 5 losses. And so the U.S. will finish 3rd, Norway 4th. And this game now, Canada-Sweden for 1st place, which means if the Canadians should win it, they would play
Dirty Nordby.
Dirty Nordby.
Do you think she can see enough of this to get around?
Get
that out.
Now we've been talking about the frost a little bit, and this would be right starting down the frost line. She's playing quiet weight. Good looking throw.
She's a nice thrower.
Bra rätt. Jag fastnade i frosten.
Canada with the hammer down by 2. Let me, okay.
Minst. Minst skilja. Ja.
Vad det vi sa.
Ja.
Canadians want to win the game, we know that. But if you finish 2nd, you play the Americans. You finish 1st, Linda, you play Doherty. You're Canada, who do you want to play?
I don't think it really matters, Vic. I know we always talk about Doherty would like to play Canada, and if Canada was 1st, that's exactly who they'd meet. But at this point, we've seen an up and down Doherty, and I don't think you can be afraid of anybody in these playoffs. Canada and Sweden so far are distinctly the best 2 teams.
I think that Canada doesn't care. Linda's right there. Norway cares.
Norway cares.
Norway, I mean, I know that for a fact. I've heard Christian Sorum, they want to play Canada in the semifinals because they think that's where the most pressure is on Canada.
And they play better against Canada as well.
So for that reason alone, don't you want to play the U.S.?
Whoa, let's be deep.
Okay.
Whoa, gotta leave it.
Well,
Yes.
good shot, Colleen.
Whoa.
Can the Swedes eliminate it, make it go away, and win it here with their final stone?
Nice shot.
But the question, who do they want to play?
Yeah.
Jag har ju träffen där. Han kommer ju bli jättebra där.
Ja, bara den inte rullar dit.
Nej, nej.
At this point, it's in their hands.
Ja, även om den rullar hit. Ja.
Känner du inte för den här? Ja?
Jo, alltså jag tycker vi ska ha den som alternativ.
Jo, men jag menar den.
Ja, jag känner för att göra samma
Ja, men
sten.
då gör det. Anette, den här isen då?
Once again, she thinks she can get across on it. She thinks she can get to the red stone by playing a hit. She could come right around, of course, this way here.
Va?
But she
Ja,
thinks
lite
that she
omlott,
can
ja. Men alltså jag
Get
kan
to
ju...
it.
Ja. Jag tål
She
ju en
hits
liten
this one
puls
here.
på gula och rulla in.
Ja, visst.
That'll just push this one this
10
way.
låter alldeles utmärkt.
And there's the jam on that stone at the back of the forefoot.
She could hit the yellow one a tiny bit and roll over top of the red one and maybe sit 1-2 without moving the red one too far. So there's a couple of options, but the best way is to get clear onto the red stone.
Final stone for Sweden in this 10th.
Kommer den?
And at Norberg. Oh no.
Not like that though.
Oh no, no. And here we go.
It's a double for the tie.
And she's shaking her head.
If this had happened with a little more weight, the shooter would have rolled far enough, it might have been buried, but with that kind of quiet weight, it's not going far at all.
And if anything's in Carlene's favor, this is an out-turn hit.
This is about the easiest shot she could have had based on what was about to happen with Annette Norberg's shot.
Final stone here in 10. Canada down by 2, looking to make the double, and has to sit there to force an extra. Here they go. Barry Ann Way, Kim Kelly, Nancy Delahunt pulling the line. Got it. 1, 2. We're going one more.
Good throw, good for her. She threw it well. She loves that shot. Don't want to leave her that often. Nice release. Good weight, Linda.
And she loved the fact this was left for her. Annette Norberg had lots of options, and what she did ended up to be a pretty easy shot for Colleen. Well thrown, though.
And so now we'll go the extra, and Canada will look to steal first place here at the Ford Worlds.
You think Tiger's still watching, Vic?
He'd enjoy that, I bet you. Sweden will have the hammer when we come back to Winnipeg.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Well, here are all the scores, and Switzerland beat Denmark. So they stayed alive for the moment. But when the USA beat Scotland, that eliminated the Scots and the Swiss. And then when Norway beat Japan, that took all the 5 lost teams right out of it. And so there will be no tiebreakers, and the Italians close with a 9-5 win over the Russians. So 4 teams are through to the playoffs. We know that the US will finish 3rd, Norway 4th, but Canada and Sweden are going to this extra now, tied 7-7 to determine who will finish first. And the Swedes, playing the Yellowstones, have the hammer.
And something the European teams are very good at is just maneuvering stones when they know all they want is the front open. A nice tick. Raised, yes, the Canadian stone into the rings. That doesn't matter. The fact that the front was opened up, it was a perfect first shot by Helena.
Yeah, nice tick. Cross the face, she'll try it again.
Ja, lite vill jag.
And she's a very good lead. If they come up into the playoffs and she plays the way she has played through round robin play, they will be very tough.
Du måste fortsätta, kom igen.
It's funny, she cut the ice down and played it with less weight. I was surprised that she changed after so successful with the first. But Thought they had it figured out in that spot.
Top of the button would be nice here.
Well, those 2 wins by Norway and the U.S. put them at 5-4, which means never in women's World Championship play since 1979 has a team with a losing record qualified for the playoffs.
Hard. Clean.
It's coming down though.
Clean.
We liked it to gather a little frost.
Marianne Wade.
That is amazing.
Tucks one behind, slips it to the back 4. Boy, look at it hook. Actually comes out the other side a little bit, doesn't it?
It does, and they're also talking about the speed, that they were surprised that that one slowed down because the split seemed to be too fast for Marianne. Good judgment on her part to know that it is slowing down a little bit. And now you can peel.
Raka. Det blir en bakre. Det är bra.
Well, this would be a first for Colleen Jones. She has never stolen an extra end win in her World Championship play. If she can do it here.
And it got the tick on that guard, so moved it far enough. For a moment, I think they were holding their breath.
Weight's good. On its own for a bit. Just getting it to center.
Halfway.
Halfway.
Just halfway.
Okay, on
Now
its
a
own.
little tighter.
On its own.
Little tighter.
Yeah, now. Yep. Hurry. Hard.
Kind of lost
Good
the
shot.
channel there.
Good shot.
Very nice shot.
So these 4 teams are through. Canada, Sweden playing for first. The U.S. guaranteed third by virtue of their win over Norway in round-robin play. And then everyone else, I mean, it could have been a mess had Norway or the U.S. lost. Everyone else eliminated from the championship this year.
Bra.
Who will she play? If Canada wins this game, steals the win, she will play Canada. Doherty Nordby, the 2-time
So he can read it. Okay.
world champion.
And actually, she did beat Colleen last year in the bronze medal game, but if we all recall, Canada had complete control. Colleen's team, especially Colleen in the second half of that game, played not the way we know they can play.
Don't clean it.
Can you go a little? Yep. Yep. Go.
It's tight.
Get it to center.
Tight.
It's tight. I don't want it in though. Get it to center though. Yep.
It's going. Don't.
Yep. Hard. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Nice shot, Kim.
Ooh, those will slow down, eh, without any sweeping.
As soon as it gets to the circles, I think it will a little bit more, but this out-turn's been sliding pretty well.
Well, she barely let it go before they picked this up.
Lots of weight, nice peel weight. They throw the big weight very well, this team.
That time of year when soccer is starting, MLS season has started in the States. That's the men's league, and of course the WUSA is on WTSN, and you can see Boston and Atlanta this Saturday night, 8 Eastern time, 5 Pacific. The WUSA, the Women's Pro Soccer League.
Let it bend a bit, little.
It's about the same. Yep. Yep. Get a little longer. Hurry. Hurry.
If I remember correctly, I think Charmaine Hooper, long-time member of Canada's national team, plays for Atlanta.
Can't help you, pal.
Ska vi inte prova på dubben nu? Va? Vi ska inte prova på dubben. Få en liten uppstuds. då om jag får.
This is where you have to make a
Jag tycker
decision.
inte det. Den här ligger ju bakom 10. Så länge den ligger där så har jag ju dragningen in här sen.
Jag får ju en corner bara om jag missar den. Jag kommer inte sätta chappen nu.
Ja, men det gäller ju bara att man inte sätter den rakt ner.
Nej, det gör vi inte.
We're talking about the run back, I think, but I think what I heard Annette say was we have to be careful because the stone would stay out in front, the shooter, of course, and if you miss the back one, double trouble, plus you leave something for Colleen to come around.
Du blir kvar själv center när du sätter dubbeln. Så de har ju chansen att dra en bättre skott då. För jag tycker
They're definitely talking about the run back.
Sprätter den bara. Men får jag spela andra handen?
Ja.
Blir jag glad.
Trying to get this stone here out of the forefoot.
Går vi för dubbeln?
Jag spelar in
The
om du vill,
shooter will
Annette.
stay there.
Vi kör den där handen, samma hand.
Vad spelar du?
En öppning.
Ja.
They've gone back to the straight peel.
I can't tell with that ice.
Ja! 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 Ja!
Yeah, the
Yes.
straight played this. Yeah.
Way to go.
I was right on top of that one for you,
Way
right?
to go.
As it's hitting the rock.
Not being able to handle that Swedish.
And the crowd here at the arena in Winnipeg on this Thursday afternoon responding as Colleen Jones makes her way down for her first stone. Sweden with the hammer in this extra of a 7-7 tie.
Bonus 6?
Yes. 6 would be
Put it
lovely.
back in the same spot.
Hair less.
Definitely not her best game of the week.
Line's great.
But she's made
Clean.
some
Line's
big
great.
shots
Just
as
foot
well,
center.
including the nice double in the
Slow the
last
current a
end.
bit.
Whoa.
Clean it. Yep. Line's great. Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hard.
Can they get it covered? Can they get a piece behind it?
Great shot.
Ooh. Now what do you do? Go after it?
If she peels, I think we got to come top 12 with the next one. Okay. I don't think we could, I think we got to let her shoot at the double.
Instead of letting
just that it walks in there so much.
Nej, det öppnar ingenting. Eller?
How tough is this decision for
Vad vill
Sweden?
du?
It's a big decision, and it really is based on what the skip feels is right. Part of the problem at this time, Vic, is we do know the ice has changed a little bit, and a lot of what happens in an extra end is based on the skip's confidence to draw the button.
You can peel that one. And you heard Colleen's conversation, then I'll come right in
Jag menar
here.
mindre träff. Det tycker jag
Or you can come right now. Just clear that for a moment.
Ja, ska vi ha lite mindre
Come right
träff
in.
då, eller? Var ska vi... Här?
Ja.
Playing for first and second. Canadians, if they win it, they'll run the table. They'll win 9 in a row and play Norway. If they lose, they'll end up in a tie with Sweden at 8-1. But the Swedes would get first place by virtue of this win in round robin.
I like where it went up because if
Canadians
she
would
was 10th,
play
it would come down to
the
that.
U.S. and Debbie McCormick from Madison, Wisconsin. Annette Norberg.
They're waiting for this to come over.
Nej.
Moment of panic, I think. Oh. Just a fraction, but lots of weight, so moved it off.
Tight guard, but a fighter's fine. Tighter the better.
We heard Colleen talk about I want to come right into that position here.
If anything, I would guard it so that Annette can't throw the out turn at that rock.
More.
That's the side of the she prefers, the speed that she knows better and a better way as far as the rocks are set up to get at that stone.
Yeah, it's great.
Wait for the 12-foot.
Okay.
Line's fine.
Line's great.
Just
We're
leave
12,
it a bit.
we're 12.
You're gonna have to go.
Yep.
Yep, you gotta go.
Yeah, we're deep.
Gotta go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
In.
The top 12 is where she said she wanted it. That's where she puts it. The families are happy. And now it's up to Sweden and Annette Norberg.
Get in, sucker,
And I
yeah, but even
said,
up front, she was still going to have that, right? So.
yeah, I said that if I was Colleen, I'd leave her the intern, and that's all she's left her.
Well, I agree, Linda. They know the other side of the sheet a little bit better. They maybe could have brought that another 6 or 7 inches, but it's a wonderful shot. Can't do much better. Unfortunately, the rock in the 4-foot is behind the button, not just in front of it.
It's also the stand side, the crowd side. Will the frost play a part in this? Final stone. Sweden looking to score one for the win to finish in first place. And at Norberg, Catherine Norberg, Helena Lingham on the brush. Got to get it around that stone, top 12. Got to get it around the stone, top 12. Canada has never stolen a win, but there's always a first time.
Sweden had the perfect weight, but could not get it by. Vic, you're absolutely right.
Oh, it was a really, really great game. What a game, Kim.
So with the win, the Canadians will finish first.
Perfect, like the forcer to that intern.
And there it is. The showdown with Dorothy Nordby and Norway in the semis, while Sweden will play the USA.
Just what a great last shot that was. And I wanted her to play the intern because it's heavier
there you go.
over there.
Wanted to play the intern. Back with you at 10 Eastern time for the final round robin draw of men's play. Randy Furby will go against the rookie team of Korea and Dong Kun Lee. Here at the Ford Worlds. Stay with us. Coming up on TSN, first round of the Masters has been postponed because of wet weather. We'll preview the Masters and look ahead to what may be expected in the next 3 days. The Canadian women will finish first. Congratulations to Colleen Jones, Kim Kelly, Marianne Way, and Nancy Delahunt. Till we talk with you again, thanks for joining us here in Winnipeg on Canada's sports leader, TSN.